Hello, everybody on Twitch. It's Tuesday night. You're on Under Pressure. It's time for Prism Break. Let's get right into it. My name is Carnival. You might have seen me on Prism Break before. I usually do the first block, and I am joined here with my pal today, Frost.
Hi, I'm Frostix. If you were here exactly 3 days ago, you probably heard me and Hammy on setting sail. But no more time for analysis. We're already going into game number 1 of Prism Break. We're up with Water Bottle versus Magic Beans here on Crab Lake Capital. Zones, not Rainmaker, it's zones.
It is Crab Lake Capital Zones.
Just like how we just rushed into stream, the teams have already rushed in. One person's already gonna go down. This Decapitator is holding point, but the rest of Jersey Shore Club. Okay, that's actually their name. Okay. That's not Magic Beans. I lied.
You know what? We're fine. We're fine.
Perhaps, yes. Crazy's going insane, like going pretty insane with this S-Blast here. They just get jumped though, outnumbered 2-1 here. Galaxy here. Atlas is pushing in as well here with the pencil. It's looking like Water Bottle is running a pretty standard team. They have a T-Tech, they have the pencil, the Decav, and the 96. That's a pretty interesting pick.
Absolutely. 96, like you said, very interesting pick. Not something that you usually see on a competitive Splatoon setting. But you know what? This is Prism Break. We do what we want. These teams also doing what they want. Magic Beans right now has the lead, pretty solid lead, but they are going to keep holding it to the very last second, if they can. Water Bottle does go 3 down. There's only 3 ticks left before the end, and Magic Beans does swipe the very first match of this set. Speaking of set, it is best of 3. So whoever gets 2 wins will be taking the step forward, and whoever loses will be, unfortunately, gone. They will be cast down into loser's bracket.
And it's already match point 1-0 by Magic Beans here. Please ignore my whoopsie poopsie from last time. This isn't Jersey Shore, this is Magic Beans. And it's looking like our next map here, Undertow Spillway on Rainmaker. Oh, I can't wait for all the fight to take place during the first checkpoint and nowhere else.
Oh boy, I love checkpoints. And you know what? If you also love checkpoints, then you're gonna love Undertow Spillway Rainmaker, because it's all about those checkpoints, baby. The first checkpoint, especially if you are facing left, the leftmost checkpoint is arguably the better of the 2 checkpoints, in my honest opinion, but it is definitely not the safest checkpoint to go to, because you are pushed right up into enemy territory when you're going to that leftward checkpoint. Like you said, there's going to be a lot of fights at that specific check if they do choose to go left, but like Undertow Spillway Rainmaker is such a strange map shape. There's not a lot of places that you can be, and it's very tight. It's very long and narrow, and it's very tight.
Yeah, no, you really need to be like mobile, agile on your feet, because if you're locked into a situation in which you need to dodge like lethal specials, try strikes. What was it? Zuka. Like it's very hard to get out of those sticky situations. Even if the map got a little bit of a facelift, it added a headset dent in which the Rainmaker now sits in. You need to basically make sure that you have enough control on your side to not get pinchered in, because yeah, if you do, then that's not gonna be fun. You'll have a bad time, as if you can infer from the Sans music.
Well, let's see what these two teams actually have in store for us. That very first explosive match that we saw with Magic Beans just absolutely sweeping the floor with Water Bottle. If that was anything to go off of, it might be a little bit more difficult for them to do that, especially like I was saying, Undertow Spillway, it's got the weird angles, it's got the weird tight corners, and as we are going into this match, let us see if our comps have changed at all, and it looks like that is a 96 deco now instead of the regular 96.
Yoshi's bringing out the Wellstring custom kit here. Wellstring's definitely a crazy weapon to speak of. Speaking of crazy, they're still running the S-Blast 91. That could be pretty useful here, especially considering the tight corners, and simply because you could just land some nasty indirects here. So far, the Rainmaker bubble has been popped here. We're going to look on Water Bottle's shot, trying to claim some spaces, but it's looking like they're outnumbered 2-0. That's looking like a Headit and a Splatana chasing them down here. Gonna get a pick onto Town here, but someone's in their backline and they're taking shots from that Wellstring. The Soda's up, and they're gonna go down to Nutella, but Nutella going down to Crazy. I was crazy once.
They locked me in a room, a rubber room with an S-Blast 91. And as we are going into this match, nobody has the Rainmaker quite yet, but Magic Beans, as you saw, just picked up the Rainmaker. They are holding on to it. They do not have a clear path into Water Bottle's area, and especially with that Decapitator just absolutely going ham there, getting that Rainmaker and getting a double there, if I saw correctly. Nobody's got the Rainmaker to a checkpoint yet. We're past a minute into this match. It has just been absolutely insane how well matched these teams are, and like you said on Undertow Spillway, Rainmaker, the checkpoints are a very important part because the fight happens there. Both teams do go 2 down there, and the Rainmaker does reset, and like I was saying, either team has the Rainmaker yet, but not for long as Water Bottle takes the advantage state. They push forward with the Kraken at their back, but unfortunately they are really in a tight spot. That Kraken doubles though, protects the Rainmaker, and Magic Beans is 3 down.
Exactly. Oh, that being said, you did not lie when you said the fights have just barely not broken out of mid. It's looking like Water Bottle barely making it just out of mid, but Yoshi's holding down the line. Nutella's holding down the line. Town is waiting in tow for some reckless play to happen. The Splatanas have traded now, and it's looking like the rest of Magic Beans, as well as Water Bottle, is doing a 2-2 trade. Yoshi and Crazy are going to pop the Rainmaker for Magic Beans here. Yoshi's Wellstring can, of course, provide a lot of paint output, as well as a lot of information with the 2 information, like, parts of its kit. Wave Breaker and Point Sensor. The Booyah Bomb is going to come out from Crazy. Yoshi's going to get a pick onto Key. That's a very, very important pick to take out, because Kraken can, as we've seen, Kraken has taken down both of Magic Beans' pushes so far. Looking like Magic Bean has finally taken the lead back, even if it's by a small margin, and they lose the Rainmaker at 90 points. They only have 1 member down, though, and they continue to break the Rainmaker. They have to deal with Water Bottle on Soda Buff. They're going to be responding a little bit faster, but Town, it's hammer time. They're backed up by Crazy, but they have a Kraken in their face, and it's looking like they immediately break the first checkpoint.
Bat Kraken killing the Stamp there was probably the best distraction that they could have hoped for, because like you said, we finally have the checkpoint broken. Magic Beans takes the first checkpoint with just over a minute left in the match. You heard me right, folks. We are just now getting to the first checkpoint. There's 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the match. I was honestly expecting us to go for a completely no checkpoint run. Water Bottle does have the Rainmaker here. They are being very careful with it. They are being very strategic. They are doing their best to gently push forward into Magic Bean's area, trying to get to that checkpoint. And Magic Beans is staggering a little bit here. They keep getting pick after pick done on them, but oh my goodness, that incredible shot from the Wellstring takes down the Rainmaker, but unfortunately the Wellstring does get taken down by the hero shot. As you can see here, Magic Beans still has the advantage. They've got the lead, and they are going to stop Water Bottle from progressing. Water Bottle has less than 1 minute left in order to get this Rainmaker up and past the checkpoint, otherwise they are going to the loser's bracket.
Some insane magic being done by Magic Beans. They're holding down the line. Crazy has a Booyah Bomb at their disposal, and the rest of Magic Beans are on Soda Buff. They have 30 seconds left to basically just hold the Rainmaker at this point. They don't need to do anything crazy. But speaking of crazy, they're popping off. They get Waffle. They're going to get a second pick, and Yoshi's just putting up charge shots, taking down Galaxy. Hits 2 down for Water Bottle, and it's looking like Yoshi's just deciding to move up even just slightly, increasing the score 42-95. Water Bottle has basically all of overtime just to basically get past 42. Looking like Waffle is in prime position to pick up the Rainmaker just in time as overtime commences. Waffle's gonna put up the bubble, and looking like they didn't make it in time. Overtime came to an untimely end, and it's looking like Magic Beans will move forward in this week's Prism Break.
Unfortunately, that Rainmaker pick up was a little bit too late, as like you said, the overtime timer ticked down right as they picked it up, and they did not have the time. And here we can see, at 2 minutes left in the match, the push that basically won the game, because nobody got the Rainmaker past the first
No one
checkpoint.
got out of mid!
No one got out of mid!
No one got out of mid, and yeah, for the first, I think 3 minutes, it was basically stuck at 60-95 here. I never said this earlier. Yoshi got an actual kill with Wavebreaker here. I don't know if the replay will showcase it. Here, look! Galaxy trying to jump back, but then going down to the wave, because of course, you can't jump when you're super jumping.
You gotta hate dying to a wave breaker, honestly. It's every shark's worst nightmare. Like, genuinely.
Well, no need to head to the shopping mall. No need to go to Mako Mart. It's a 2-0. Water Bottle has been Prism broken. Now will be sent to the loser's bracket. But keep going, Water Bottle. You've got this. Round 2 looking to still be prepped, so looking like we're gonna have to take a little bit of a break. But of course, stay tuned for more Splatoon action.
everybody, welcome back. We are already at the quarterfinals, a bit of a small Prism break this week, but we're, like I said, quarterfinals, best of 5. Our teams for us are going to be 2 EP for this versus the 11th Arcana, or no, 12th Arcana, my apologies.
Arcana. That's 12.
I'm good at Roman numerals, I promise.
No, don't worry, Carnival. We still got 2 more teams. This is I still can't believe this is we're already at quarter semis here. Even still. What are our map modes? Oh, there they are! Umami Zones is our first map mode of this best of 5 set. We've immediately gone up to 5 here. Such a tonal whiplash here. Carney, what's your thoughts on Umami Zone?
I like Umami Zones.
I also like Umami Zones. I love the
as somebody who used to play Tri-Slosher a lot, I really like Umami Zones. You'll never guess why.
Slosher, go over the rectangle. It's looking like the 12th Arcana has an ink brush here. That's the ink brush with the killer whale here. And in terms of 2 EP for this, they've got a Dreadringer in terms of interesting picks as well. Already, the Carbon's gonna go down here. The Soda is already gonna come out for 2 EP. Oh, watch out for Masamune with the ink brush, already gonna cause a wipeout for the 12th Arcana. Masamune's already got a Killer Whale ready to rip, and they're already backed up by their Stamper. Uh-oh, don't get flushed out by the Burst Bomb here. Already gonna force a jump, and they're... Oh, here comes the Reslider. They're gonna take Venoct down here, but it's looking like Masamune is just gonna get out of there unscathed as the strikes come in and as they take the first zone.
You hate to be up against an ink brush that knows what it's doing, honestly. Well, like you said, 12th Arcana here has lead. They are at 69 ticks away from victory with a 24-tick penalty. They're going to take the zone again here. It is just going to be a back and forth zone flipping madness as 2 EP and Arcana are battling for the zone. 2 EP does go 3 down in that moment with Arcana taking control of the zone once again. That Carbon sharking as Carbons do, taking down 1. Unfortunately, they do go 2 down. Oh my goodness, some incredible gameplay from Josh here over on the left side of the map for Arcana. And it is just an absolute bloodbath in mid here as we are looking at specials being popped left and right. People going down left and right. EP finally takes a hold of the zone and pushes Arcana slightly back into their base. But those Sodas are up and they are active and they are ready for a counterattack.
2 EP must not sleep on Josh here. Their work with that crab, and it's looking like that's the case here. T-Fish is going to take out Josh with the very good Zuka counter here, making good work of the Carbon, making sure to distance out Masamune here, and also making sure to take the fight as a group. Looking like the Carbon's going to go down to Masamune, also being backed up by their Stamper. They're going to lose control here. The lead is still attainable. It's 68-71, but it's looking like the 12th Arcana is going to be able to flush the rest of 2 EP back, and they're already pushed up towards their doorstep. Josh gonna pop another crab. The whales are being pushed up by Masamune. Now they need to make quick movement lest they become a number in Masamune's kill streak here. I think that was 2, unless they were assisted by Josh or by Venox. That's a wipeout for the 12th Arcana, and now they're out of their penalty. They're on Soda buff, and they're ticking down, ticking fast here. Masamune is still at their doorstep, making quick work, jumping over a very unjumpable ledge, and it's probably looking like they're starting to make their way out as the Reef Sliders come out, as Josh goes down, as the Tri-Strikes come in to lose control, and they're going to take that Venoct as well, and they're going to start flushing out the rest of the 12th Arcana in a really good time here. They're 23 points away from winning.
Ooh, it's an excellent 3 down 2 EP for this. Pushing forward into mid here, like you said, with just a very good accuracy. They were able to grasp that advantage state, regroup, and push forward as a cohesive unit, which is going to be very important for them as they start working through that barrier. They finally have control of the zone. They are actively ticking down, but not for long as Arcana is just going forward with all of the specials they have, but unfortunately, they are stopped in their tracks by that Dreadringer. 2EP now, once again, in control of the zone, ticking down. Lead for them, it might be obtainable here as they are now 30. They're going down and down more as we speak. And as they tick down to 22, they do grasp that lead. And with that, Sodabuff is up for the 12th Arcana here as Blob on the pencil doing their best to secure the mid here with that range. But they are just unable to get much paint down as 2EP has finally found their footing and they are acting with utmost accuracy.
They best not start sleeping too fast, but it's looking like Masamune and the rest of the 12th Arcana take back zone just in the nick of time within 10 ticks left. That was very clutch here. Masamune, of course, leading the charge, backed up by the Stamper, but 2EP for this is now on Sodabuff here. Heihihika has the Reef Slider. They're going to be charging in. Can they take any targets? They take out Josh. Masamune is going to take it out with the Whale, but it's looking like Masamune is going to be taken out as well. 2EP is now going to recap zones probably with the Tri-Strikes here. It did not look like Arcana has the paint necessary to overwhelm the sheer paint output that 2EP has here. They have 10 seconds left. And overtime must happen if the 12th Arcana wants to get this first zones match here. Doesn't look like that's the case because the zones are purple. And even when Masamune jumps into the scene, 2EP for this will take game 1.
An excellent game 1 display by 2EP for this. While they were down in that first half of the match, they managed to turn it around and take care of business as they once the 12th Arcana had gotten their push out of the way and had gotten it down and they were in that disadvantaged state, 2EP for this does manage to come back in full force. They were 100% ready. They had their specials up. They had their coordination up really well. And that's really what led them to retake control of the zone and time after time be able to capitalize on the disadvantage that Arcana had with their low paint output and just absolutely go ham on the Splat zone.
Yeah, exactly here. But I, of course, don't always count out Arcana. It's a 5-game set. They have a lot of promising aspects of their team. They have a very strong frontline cop of Vernoct on the Stamper and Masamune on that Ink Brush here. That's very dominant as we saw in that Umami game. But not to mention the backline being held down by their Pencil, as well as Josh on the Splash-O-Matic here made really good work with that Crab holding down the line, making sure that they have the firepower necessary to back up the very, very aggressive front lines, because we constantly saw a lot of pushes happen in which Masamune just starts schmoving, making it to the back line, and they're already being assisted by Vernoct already within tow here.
And as we are going into this next match, it looks like that we have a classic Inkblot Art Academy tower control. Everybody loves it. Everybody knows it. You know what? I personally am a fan. It's simple. It's easy. Take control of the stacks. Ride that tower to victory and do not get steamrolled if you can. Because this is a very steamrolly map on a very steamrolly mode. Once you hit past that second checkpoint, it is just absolute chaos in the bats, in the platform, in just everywhere.
It's looking like the team comp for Arcana will remain the same here. And 2EP for this also probably sticking to the roots. I don't think Momo ran ahead last time, if I remember correctly here. All they need to do is make sure they have the control and they can make it past the second checkpoint without any issues here. Masamune gonna take down one already, taking down Ronin, getting splatted by Momo. Josh is gonna be running from a Reef Slider here to make sure not to get... Actually, yeah, having a Reef Slider weapon on tower control is really interesting, but if anything, Hihiha is really has showcased their skill with the Dreadringer here, as 2EP for this will take the first tower.
You good?
Yeah.
Have some water. I'll take over from here. As we are going in to the first checkpoint here, 2EP taking checkpoint 1, that Reef Slider, like you said, a weird pick, but splats Josh on bats. with Venoct over here trying their best to take control of the bats, unfortunately going down. 2EP is now 2 down, but they are still going. They are already at checkpoint 2. Unfortunately, they are unable to complete that checkpoint 2 push as the 12th Arcana retakes control of the tower and the neutral space, but that Dreadringer, hee hee ha ha over here, doing their best to keep that paint area blue as possible. Josh over here trying their best to skirmish around that player down in mid. They've got the crab out. Unfortunately, that Dreadringer is the answer to the crab. 2EP does go 3 down there, but they are about to come right back in.
The Nox is here in mid. They have the Zipcast ready, but LaFish has the Zuka ready to counteract, and they pop it right here. Josh immediately going to enter LaFish's fray and take them down, just canceling the splashdown. Not the splashdown, but the the Zuka in time. Popping out the crab to provide some more cover fire, taking down Hihiha as well. LaFish now needs to run not just from the Killer Whale, but also from the front line of the 12th Arcana, as it's looking like Arcana now takes the second checkpoint from themselves, taking the lead just in time here. Ronin's gonna pop out with the strikes, potentially scattering the rest of the 12th Arcana. Venoct popping out with the Zipcaster, trying to dodge enemy fire, just barely making it here before getting splatted. Here's Hihiha, making sure that the turf is colored blue here. Josh has another crab ready. That's pretty useful. And it's looking like they're also potentially on soda buff. And Josh jumping on the tower in time, taking out Hihiha in time. Ronin is potentially within their sights, not getting it. And it's 43-54 here. The lead is close.
It is close indeed. Josh put that crab on the tower. Anybody who knows me knows I love a good tower crab. But Masamune on that brush doing their best with the everything that they're putting out all the time, because their brush is painting so damn fast. They are getting whale after whale after whale. They are being the menace that ink brushes should be. Josh has the crab back online once again. Oh my goodness. I swear this is just it's Crab Tank now. This is Crab Tank's game. But 2EP trying their best to push forward into that second checkpoint. Unfortunately, that Reef Slider was not able to find anybody. 2EP does have a little bit of a disadvantage here going into bats. They do not have any specials online, and it looks like they are really in a tough spot. That Trizuka is out, and they are going for bats. They get a pick. And unfortunately, it seems like they are just stagnating at second check.
2EP for this is still in this fight, though, as Ronin brings out another tri-strikes here. They're just inches, centimeters away from getting the lead, and it's looking like they get it right in the nick of time. Venoct and Masamune are on the scene, taking out Ronin. All that's left is Momo riding the tower here, and it's looking like a 3v1 going down to Blob on the pencil. The 12th Arcana has 42 seconds and counting to take back a very, very close lead here again. 28-43. They have 30 seconds left. Hihiha coming in with the Reef Slider, going down to Josh and Venoct here. Masamune's gonna go down to the fish here. It's just kill after kill. It's a trade. It's a bloodbath here in this campus mid-ground. Josh is sharking here. They have another crab ready. Like you said, this is just Crab Tank City. Josh looking to find position on the high ground here. They're being contested by LaFish. Ronin's down here. Venoct has a Zipcast ready, potentially ready to cause mayhem in the backline. And it's just a matter of getting the tower and getting some picks. Josh is going to pop the crab on tower. They're going to take down some person here as overtime commences.
Overtime commences indeed. 2EP, 3 down. This is Arcana's chance to move up past the checkpoint. And they are going. It is just becoming a steamroll here. And oh my goodness! 2EP taking that as a challenge and immediately just destroying anyone who dare touch that tower. Such a close game. They were 1 point off from taking over that lead. But 2EP for this said, no thank you, we actually want to win this game instead, and they do.
It's been an insane back and forth within this TC Inkblot match here. not just in terms of splats and trades here, but also in the lead. It was so back and forth going from one side to another, basically trading pressure off of each other with bazookas, with crabs, with zipcasters, with a brush and a splatana in their faces, and dealing with the Dreadringer, which was apparently a good pick. I may be stupid here.
And if you know how to play Dreadringer, and you know how to play Dreadringer well, it is very, very hard to get past and get rid of. If you know how to aim your Reef Slider as well as the Dreadringer hee-hee-ha-ha does, then it is just an absolute pain to deal with coming from somebody who is also a frontline. I find it very hard to skirmish around a good Dreadringer player. But you know what? We are going right back, and it is time. It is match point. It's Barnacle and Dime, and it's Clamblitz time, baby.
Shout out to the one guy in chat that's like vying for Clamblitz so hard. You finally
this
get
one's for you, buddy.
It's match point. This may be the last match of the set, but at least if it does end, it ends on Clamblitz.
This one is specifically for the Twitch chat user Clamblitz, who keeps asking for Clamblitz. It's time. It's Clamblitz time. It's Barnacle and Dime.
Especially on perhaps the clam map of all time. Barnacle and Dime is just... It has a really open basket area, Carney. It's... Lots of fights happen like when push starts, especially considering how basket's very close to spawn in Barnacle and Dime.
Absolutely. Basket being so close to the spawn on Barnacle and Dime is just an absolute killer for some specific matches. Once you are there and you are in the other team's area, it is just very, very hard for the other team to get out of a pinch there, out of a bind. As we are going into this match, we see that these comps have stayed relatively the same. That brush on Clamblitz is going to be absolutely insane, especially with how Masamune has been playing this brush as of late.
No, yeah, I would not want to be dealing in a situation where Masamune and Vanacht are in my face and spawn as a push starts. The 12th Arcana have already started picking up clams enough to get a power clam, but LaFish is just doing Masamune's work, taking out Masamune as well as Josh here. And it's looking like both teams are on soda buff, but the 12th Arcana is pushed back to their spawn, even with nothing to fear. LaFish is gonna pop out with a Trizuka. Ronin's gonna pop in with strikes to paint the rest of the basket area. Purple Masamune taking a pick, but Hihiha's gonna go in with the Reef Slider. Josh popping out with the crab just in time, making sure that they can flush the rest of 2EP out of their basket. But LaFish, no one notices the carbon as it scores to get 71. It doesn't look like 2EP has enough time or clams to get this basket going, but Momo picking up another power clam just as their push ended.
Some very intense Clamblitz gameplay here. We can see that 2EP already has another power clam, as well as the Arcana as... Oh my goodness, it is just an absolute bloodbath in mid right now. 2EP going down, Arcana going down, people are going down left and frickin' right. But it seems like 2EP for this might be staggering a little bit here. Blob takes their place on their platform here with that power clam in hand. They've got the sodas out, they've got the crab out, and it is time for the 12th Arcana to push if they can. 2EP is now 3 down, and Arcana is taking this as their sign. And they go ahead and pop it in.
That being said, though, Momo's going to get a pick onto someone from the 12th Arcana in time. They do have the soda buff. Vanacht is going to go down mid Zipcaster. Josh taking out Ronin just in time as well. They take the lead 53-71, and that's a pretty strong lead for your first push, already going halfway. And they're still popping the action. Masamune, I think, is not actually that deep into their basket here. 71-53 with 2 minutes left on the clock. A very nice clapback from the 12th Arcana here. Masamune is definitely going to be a good asset for the 12th Arcana, not just for getting picked, but also for clam gathering here. You saw how fast they had that power clam within the first couple seconds of that match here. Ronan's gonna pop in with the tri-strikes, making sure that they could get some more mid-control, which is definitely vital in Barnacle and Dime, but Josh has the crab tank ready, already taking out Ronan. Hihiga is gonna take some chip damage from those grenades, and they already have 2 power clams at their disposal to use. The push could be imminent.
The push could be imminent, if not for the fact that that Reef Slider just came in and obliterated 2 of the 12th Arcana. While they do have 2 power clams here, and 2 EP doesn't have a power clam yet, 2 EP for this does have main control of the... And what is Masamune doing back there? You just saw Masamune go right past 2 EP for this, and then jump here! Oh my goodness!
The insane flank by Masamune. Don't let a ink brush go unnoticed, lest you get 2 power clams into your basket, as showcased by the 12th Arcana here. Vinoct was causing some chaos in the backline, making sure that potentially the clam holders could go down, but 2 EP for this holds their ground here, and especially with the amount of people down for the side of the 12th Arcana here, their time to push is now. Hihiha is already into the front line, but Masamune gonna stop Momo potentially from getting the second power climb, and LaFish is gonna throw in one for 2 EP for this, and it's 45-30. That's a wipeout by the 12th Arcana, putting 2 EP's push to a halt. It's a minute left.
Masamune is just being an absolute beast on that brush. Oh my goodness. If you take a good brush player and you bring them to a Clam Blitz match, you better watch out. I would not want to face Masamune right now in this match. As, like you said, they are just getting, like, they have another power clam. Once again, throwing out that power clams to their team. It has just been power clam after power clam this entire game for the 12th Arcana. And you know what? That's sometimes how you win. Sometimes you're a brush and you go right past the enemy team only for your team to jump right into the basket. And it is just an absolute bloodbath in mid right now as we are going down to the last 10 seconds of this Clam Blitz match. 2 EP for this needs to push now or push during overtime in order for them to take
They're doing
this.
it again! They're doing it again! They did it within the last 10 seconds!
The last 10 seconds?
The 12th Arcana had 3 power clams! And Masamune was the only one who didn't have it, and they were already in there.
Oh my god! It was just so fast, I didn't even see it until it happened.
What a stellar showcase by the 12th Arcana doing it on Clam Blitz here. If anything, yeah, Clams is definitely a brushes mode, and that is Masamune's time to shine here. Even if 2 EP has them matched out in terms of pain control, especially when they have the Dreadringer and Momo's headed here, it potentially isn't, as we see here, it isn't enough to match the 12th Arcana's aggression here.
Aggression is definitely the right word I would use for this. And the 12th Arcana has shown to EP for this that they are not out of the game yet. Because while that was match point for 2 EP, we are going into Crab Leg Capital Rainmaker for our 4th game of this set, where the 12th Arcana has a chance to tie this up and potentially send us to a game 5 for our quarterfinals match. And with that amazing performance that they showed us last time, luck might just be in their favor. But like you said, let's not count 2 EP for this out just yet, because out of the 2 comps, they do seem to definitely have more of the paint control. And that seems like it's more of a good thing in Rainmaker, because you can strategize around your paint control. You can go with your paint on Rainmaker and usually have it be okay. Pure aggression isn't the best option for Rainmaker most of the time.
Not to mention, you if you're the 12th Arcana, you don't just want to you shouldn't just watch out for 2 EP's paint control, but you also need to watch out for their firepower here. They're rocking both Headed as well as Dreadringer here. Those are really potentially deadly weapons on a map like Crab Leg Capital, what I like to call Great City here. You are not safe from a stray Zuka shot from, say, LaFiche on the Carbon.
And speaking of Carbon, that Carbon is right back out where it should be. Most of the comps are saying the same here throughout this couple of games. But as we're going in, 2EP reaches the Rainmaker first, and they are going to get that first pop as they walk into mid like nobody's business. Masamune on that brush, though, they are doing their best to take EP out of mid. Unfortunately, unable to find any purchase before they die. We can see Fish over here doing their best on the Carbon, being the little Carbon gremlin that we all strive to be while we are on Carbon. Sodas are out, and it is time for 2EP's push.
That being said, though, Josh is going to potentially shut this down here, getting some sneaky picks with a burst bomb from that Flashmatic, but Masamune is already in their face here, but they're being locked out by Hihihiha here. But, well, someone's in their backline already. Looking like that's Vinoct here. Lafiche is going to take down Masamune, and Ronin is going to get the Tri-Strikes in on time, potentially going to take out Blob here. They have Josh's Crab in their face. Ronin taking a very, very risky approach, taking the Crab head on, but they're dancing around that pedestal here, going down to Ronin, to Josh's Crab. Blob is sitting on the grates. That's a very deadly spot to be in as they go down to Lafiche. But that's another frontline trade. Masamune and Lafiche trading it out here.
And EP is already mostly back in mid. And it is just, I've been saying this the entire time, but it's really, really shown this match a bloodbath in mid. We see evenly matched fights just everywhere. The Rainmaker resetting, Masamune trying their best to get any sort of pick that they can. They go onto the checkpoint, onto their platform, and they are ready to be a little bit of a goblin. Ooh! Stray Zuka shot hits the Rainmaker, and unfortunately the Rainmaker does go down, and 2EP takes this opportunity to go forward, killing Masamune, or close to it. And they have Sodas up. They are ready with the Rainmaker. They are going to push forward as best as they can.
Looking like they can get a lot of zone control here with Lafiche in tow, as well as Ronin getting a lot of pains. That'll get them charged up for a Tri-Strike. That'll be perfect for taking the first grade. Josh is going to go down here, but you know who else is going down? The Rainmaker. That's very untimely here. Now they have to just get this pain down to get the Rainmaker popped. Looking like that's the case thanks to Hihiha and Ronin on the scene. Ronin is going to pick up the Rainmaker this time around, immediately going down to what looks like the Killer Whale by Masamune, and Masamune is already pushing in, even when the Rainmaker is in the brink of being popped. Hihiha's going to pop out with the slider, immediately being shut down by Josh, and the rest of 2EP for this isn't in the position to get the Rainmaker. Looking like the 12th Arcana is in a perfect spot to push, unless they're going to get stuffed by Lafiche. Lafiche is going to go down to Josh's Crab, and I think it's only Josh as the last member of the 12th Arcana on the scene. Vinoct is in mid. Josh is going to go down to what's looking like the Rainmaker bubble. Masamune doing it again! Going to get the first checkpoint behind enemy lines.
Behind enemy lines is where a brush loves to be, and it was very evident with that Rainmaker checkpoint pop there. And the 12th Arcana, while I said earlier, pure aggression is not the strat for Rainmaker here. They are doing a very good job at strategizing and making sure this works, but not for long. 2EP for this does take that checkpoint right after they do. They have the Rainmaker, and they barely tap it forward, getting a very small lead over the 12th Arcana. The 12th Arcana has a minute left to get it up and past the checkpoint, even farther than 2EP did. Otherwise, they're going to be going straight to the loser's bracket. But don't count them out just yet. They are working together seamlessly, staggering 2EP for this one after the other, trying their best to get forward past the checkpoint, and they do take the lead, going all the way down to 33 as we are less than a minute left.
Josh has been holding their ground for so long. They managed to get a pick onto Momo here. That's 0 soda for 2EP here, and now the pressure has been flipped onto 2EP. They need to get past 33 within the last 33 seconds and counting. Rainmaker has been reset, and Vinoct is trying to take down Lafiche. It's looking like Lafiche will not fall, and Vinoct is just gonna play where a Stamper could play best here at its range. They need to get this Rainmaker pop so at least they can get the zone control onto mid. Masamune is in their face once again, getting a wipeout, and it's looking like the 12th Arcana is very comfortable within their position right now. They're not even popping the Rainmaker here, and maybe that's just all they need to do. But here comes Hihiha, just barely making it to the bubble with the Reef Slider, but the timer ticks 0. Just barely making it as the 12th Arcana will take game 4. 5.
We are on our first game of 5 of this week's Prism break. And like you said, the 12th Arcana was doing a very, very good job of making sure that 2 EP for this could not move. They were staggering them. They were painting around them, trapping them in places that they should not have been. And as we are moving on to this game 5, these two teams have been super, super evenly matched up until this point. The 12th Arcana showing to EP for this that they not only are not ready to give up, but that they, after playing 4 games with them, have figured out their strats. And we'll see if the 2 EP for this has an answer to the 12th Arcana's just hyper aggression.
It is insane, but they do, if anything, 2 EP for this has a lot of valuable weapons that can pop game-changing specials. They're running a T-Tech, they're running a T-Tech, they are running a Reef Slider here. Definitely weapons that can counter an aggressive push from the 12th Arcana here. Our last match here is going to be the bottom bun of this zone sandwich as we end this set on Hagglefish Market Zones Carnival. Oh man.
Market zones. You love to see it. You maybe don't love to play on it. I don't know. I love playing on it. It's a great, great map for me specifically because I like to be a little gremlin and shark all over the place. And this is the perfect map for little gremlins who like to shark all over the place. I'm specifically talking about the Carbon Roller and the Brush, which both of these teams have access to and have played very well. And as we are going to be moving into the match right now, we can see that these comps are probably going to stay the exact same from last time. We see 12th Arcana chilling out with the usual. We see, I believe that is a Splash Neo.
They're still running the Tri-Strikes in the form of the Splash Neo, but Ronin switching from T-Tech to V-Shot here. It's almost like they've swapped out. They're running 2 Zukas, if anything, here. But Lafiche is staying on the Carbon Deco, which has that Splashdown. 2EP for this is already going to take... Splashdown, Zuko. 2EP for this is already going to take first zone. Hihiha is driving in, taking down potentially no one, actually, here. And 2 are down for 2 EP. The 12th Arcana is on Soda buff here. Vinoct is on zone. Masamune going down to Lafiche. The flank is not real yet, but the 12th Arcana taking back zone, but not it's not to the point where they can get to 2 EP's 71 lead. Their paint control is dominant.
Listen, their paint control is definitely going to be a selling point for them here. 2 down go on the either side of the teams. The 12th Arcana does have control of the zone right now, and they do have Sodas out. Josh has that crab online and out, and they are ready, but unfortunately the crab does get obliterated by that Reef Slider. Speaking of the Reef Slider, it did give to EP a little bit of a moment of 3 down before Soda Buff decided to revive everybody just right back there. And it has just been very, very good match for 2 EP so far. They are almost completely down to below 50, and as I said that, commentator's curse strikes again. I swear, it's always me with these things. And the 12th Arcana retakes the zone and begins to work through their penalty.
Ronin is in a really dangerous situation as Vinoct is gonna go down to Ronin even when they were sitting on 10th for so long. They're gonna pop out the Zuka here. Hihiha is gonna bust out the Reef Slider. The strikes have been popped by Ronin, and it's looking like the 12th Arcana is going to take back lead within the nick of time. It's 48-55. Masamune is going to go down. Masamune has been shut down by Lafiche in a lot of opportunities here, especially on a map like Hagglefish. And it's looking like Lafiche is now taking the spot for potential Gremlin here. They're trying to get some devious flicks from the backline here. It does not look like the 12th Arcana has noticed Lafiche. Josh is going to go down here. Can they get Blob here? Blob is going to be forced to jump out here. That is some stellar Gremlin work by Lafiche on the Carbon Deco. They're sitting under tent here. That's a pretty nice spot as 2EP will take lead. There you got a run from some lasers. Cast out by Masamune, gonna go down. Vanoct has the Reef Slider ready. Why did I say Reef Slider? Vanoct has the Zip Cast ready. Ronin has the Trizuka ready. And they're just holding their ground here.
Holding their ground indeed. The 12th Arcana does take back the zone temporarily, as 2EP for this does go 2 down on this match. It is 48-42. 2EP for this does have the lead, and they immediately shut down that Zipcaster coming into their spawn. 2EP for this doing their best to move forward and trying to get control of the zone. That Reef Slider comes out and they take control of the zone, but not before the 12th Arcana takes the lead and takes control of the zone once again. They begin to work through those penalty points. That Trizuka coming out, not really finding a pick on anybody just yet. 2EP going 2 down. That Crab from Josh coming out and threatening their spawn, getting a pick, maybe potentially getting a second. Not quite though. The sodas are out and the 12th Arcana has finally worked through those penalty points and they are in it to win it.
We may be seeing a reverse sweep for the 12th Arcana here. Momo's gonna bust out the Tri-Strikes here. Recapping zones, they have 10 ticks left. A clutch Reef-Slider by Hihihiha will recap zone, putting the 12th Arcana's penalty points at 45 with a minute left. Vinoc's gonna go down to Hihihiha. The paint output from Dreadringer is insane. Masamune busting out the lasers, potentially gonna take out any picks. Someone has strikes. I think Masamune saw that, and they're immediately going to rush to the backline. Hikiha has noticed Masamune, making sure no backline shenanigans can happen for one more game. As they take control once more, Hikiha is going to drive into the backline with the Reef Slider, and zone is purple once more. Ronin and Momo are pushed forward. Ronin's going to potentially get some picks going, going to go down to Masamune. The strikes keep coming out, this time towards their spawn. Vanoct is going to pop in with the Zipcaster, potentially dispersing the rest of 2EP, but not so fast here. They still stand their ground. Lafiche making sure they can get Masamune down with the Zuka before going down. Josh potentially being this is the last prayer for the 12th Arcana. The Crab could be all they need. Oh, the zone is purple. It's going into overtime. 2EP is counting down, counting fast here. They need to beat 10, and they do!
2EP for this takes the 5th game of the set and wins. They are going forward in this Prism break while the 12th Arcana unfortunately is sent to the losers bracket. That reverse sweep denied by 2EP for this and their amazing paint control that entire match. They were ready for the 12th Arcana's shenanigans and keeping track of Masamune and their brush and making sure that they could not do any of the brush shenanigans was absolutely perfect for them to be able to shut down the 12th Arcana.
That was one hell of a set, Carney, here, especially this last game here. And it's like you said earlier, it looked like 2EP for this finally figured out the secret formula to getting rid of a brush here. Ronin gonna take down Vanoct in this replay, making sure they could shut down it, even though they had Reef Slider. I think Masamune's gonna go down here again. Here, recapping replays are hard because they kind of jump cut in between stuff. I don't know if I can focus without telling the full narrative.
It's fine, it's fine. All you guys need to know from this replay is the fact that 2EP kept the zone purple consistently, time and time and time again. And while the 12th Arcana was doing their best to keep that zone yellow, 2EP for this just said, no, we're doing purple now. It's going to be purple, and we're going to keep it purple. And really the key for that was making sure that Muramasa, the brush, and the gremlin of the 12th Arcana was shut down. And you know who did an excellent job of shutting the gremlin down? The other gremlin, the carbon roller. They did an excellent job of keeping track of that brush the entire time that game was running and just denying the brush over and over and over again. So really, the takeaway here is that when two gremlins collide,
one will always be canceled out. One gremlin will... one shall stand, one shall fall, and it's looking like Masamune was the Megatron in this situation. Even still, stellar showcase by the rest of the 12th Arcana here. You made amazing plays in that Clan Blitz match in the what was it, the Tower match? That was the map they won? Oh, the Rainmaker match.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. And it's looking like we're still going into semifinals. The semifinals for this Prism break. So yeah. We're going to Denny's after this, consisting of LP, Tickle, Zeal, and Bazin going up against Moonshine with T, Baha, Apisto, Gaming, Yuma, and Kotsame.
Well, you know what? We're going to Denny's after this. If you guys are watching this stream, listening to it, I really hope you guys get to go to Denny's after this.
You know, a victory Denny's Grand Slam would be very nice right now. I could go for some pancakes.
Also go for some pancakes, honestly. Ooh, you know what?
Moonshine feels like a familiar face. I feel like I end up casting them all the time.
I was just about to say that. We've seen Moonshine on Prism Break plenty of times before. They are one of our familiar faces, and it's so nice to have them back on the stream on this Tuesday night. Like you said, we are going right into semifinals. Best of 5 again. Right from quarters to semis, and whoever is going to be taking this will be moving on directly. And as our map modes are coming on, we are going to be starting off this set with Shipshape Cargo Co. on Splat Zones, which I personally think is a fan favorite.
Yeah, you see Shipshape Zones a lot here. It's definitely a more favored Zones map compared to all of its other modes here. Of course, the thing with Shipshape is that it's Lockout City. You do not want to get locked out fast on Shipshape, especially in zones here. If you have no space to work with, you will be KO'd quickly here. If anything, perhaps a comp similar to what we saw from 2EP from this could be the key, especially if they could get some picks alongside a dominant paint control.
Yeah, like you said, Lockout City on Shipshape Cargo Co. Not so much, I think, on Splat Zones, but it's especially apparent when you do Shipshape Cargo Co. say Tower Control. You have a very different line of action on Tower Control when it comes to this specific map as you do on Splat Zones. But what I personally like about this specific Splat Zones map is the bridge in the middle. We all know it. We all love it, maybe. I know I'm a fan of it. But that bridge that just looks over the zone is a perfect place to stand and also a perfect place to get killed. So we'll see which team is able to just really take a good advantage of the terrain, use it to their advantage. I cannot words tonight. I swear, it happens like every other week that Prism Break comes on and I come in calm for the first block and I just become a jumble of word salad.
Nah, don't worry. I've been tossing up a fair share of word salad myself as well. Looking like they're gonna go with Kosame, Yuma, Apisto, and Gaming on the side of Moonshine. That's 2 stampers for going to Denny's. That is insane here. Looking
it's
like
a 3-stamper match.
There are 3 stampers. Gun and Evil Tickle are running the stampers for going to Denny's. And I didn't even know who was running the stamper for Moonshine. Going to Denny's is immediately going to cap for zone here. Looking like the rest of their team is going to take control of the bridge. But it's looking like Moonshine Spotter also on bridge. Of course, it's heavily contested here. Bazooka has been popped by Gaming, taking out the stamper. Oh, was it the stamper? I don't know. Moonshine is
the stamper.
Oh, okay. Moonshine is in prime position to start capping, and they do here.
And do they, like you said, they do end up capping that zone. They are ticking it down as we speak, trying to get it below that 81, and they do manage to do it, but not before a little bit of a zone contest, but not Nothing too crazy. Moonshine's still in control of the zone, and they're going to be in control of the zone for as long as they possibly can, until we're going to Denny's after this. Denny's ends up capping the zone. Again, it is just a sword fight over here. Two sword, two furious. Denny's is doing their best here to cap the zone. That whale's going out behind that wall. They are going into the bridge. They have sodas out. Both of the swords are trying their best here to get that range on Moonshine. Moonshine going in with that Reef Slider, not really finding anyone. Unfortunately, that Reef Slider does end up going down to a sword, and Denny's takes the lead, ticking down that zone as we speak, trying to find purchase on the rest of Moonshine's team. Moonshine going 2 down here, and Denny's does have the advantage once again.
Yeah, they're just showcasing stellar swordplay while they were grinding in the brackets. Going to Tennies, we're mastering the blade here. Cause Moonshine is on soda buff here. Going to Denny's is 18, 17 points and ticking down here. The Zipcaster has been popped here. Going down to a pistol though, getting shut down, getting shot out of their airspace. And Tickle is in a very risky situation going down to the rest of Moonshine. Moonshine is going to be looking to cap zone here, shutting down Denny's push. There's 63 penalty points. Kosame popping in a Reef Slider just to get anyone off zone. But it's looking like Denny's is getting onto the zone just as I say this. Perhaps not painting it so far, but the fight is still heated. Pickle's going to take out Gaming here. Yuma is on the other end, and that's a sword v sword duel on the bridge. Tickle has brought out the crab to take out a Pisto. That's no sodas for Moonshine. Yuma is in a sword fight with Yacht. Yuma goes down, and that's a wipeout for going to Denny's.
Denny's and their swords are playing better than Matt in Wii Sports Resort here, if you know what I'm talking about. Those swords on Denny's are just being absolutely nuts on Moonshine. The Zipcaster, the crab, the range on both of those swords, and the amazing sword play here is just absolutely cementing their zone, but not for long. Moonshine takes control of the zone, giving Denny's a 48-point penalty. Denny's does end up having a delayed 3 down there, which is Moonshine's time to shine. They push forward, trying their best to get that zone at least a little bit contested, as Denny's, that sword over here, Evil Tickle, just doing their best to be a little gremlin on the side of Moonshine's area.
Tickle is still on the scene though. They're sharking down bridge here. It's looking like they've been spotted by Kosame, and Kosame is this way in order to signal the arrival of the swords. Tickle's gonna take down one, gonna take down the machine here. Yada's gone down, but Tickle has managed to keep their team in the fight for as long as possible. They have a crab ready to rip, and just in time here as they're under pressure by Yuma's sword, but Yuma is gonna start being pressured by Bazin. That's a trade as going to Denny's recap zone within the final 50 seconds. That's 3 down, a delayed wipeout per chance. Tickle is already going to move a little bit forward here. Yacht's gonna pop out the Zipcaster to push even further deep into their backline. They've already taken down the machine. The machine just can't catch a break here, and Yacht's gonna be able to make it out there alive. Kosame has the Reef Slider ready to rip. The rest of Moonshine is on soda buff. They need to pop this now. Yuma has the crab tank, but Kosame's Reef Slider was blocked by an untimely splash fall. That was very, very clutch of them to do that. And it's looking like we're going to Denny's. We'll take game 1 of semis. That was a rhyme. Bars.
Bars. You know what? Normally, I would not advise running 2 Splatoon Stampers in a team, but Denny's is making it work. They are absolutely capitalizing on their firepower and their special power. Zipcaster, okay, maybe an off pick. It's a strange one. It works decently well on Splatoon Stamper in certain situations, but you can't go wrong with Crab. Crab is like just an excellent special to have on your team, and they really showed how well they can take down the individual members of Moonshine with those double swords.
Especially, you talked about how Crab is such a cornerstone special to have. Especially, it was probably showcased because both teams were running Stamper Nouveau here. Both Yuma and and Yacht running the was it? No, what's it called? both Yuma and Tickle running the Stamper Neo, providing some well-needed firepower with the crab here. Look at this! The
Ooh,
Reef Slider had its sights set to zone here, but the
Splash Ball
perfectly...
MVP.
Yeah, they ran into a tree.
You
Hagglefish
know what?
Market... Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hagglefish Market is going to be our next map mode combination. Yeah, our next map mode for the set. What were you going to say, though?
You know what? Sometimes you're a reef slider and you're about to cap the zone at the last second, and then sometimes you're the splash wall, making sure that reef slider just absolutely has an awful time, because the way that the reef slider was heading, they were for sure going to cap the zone once they got to the end of their path, but the wall just ended it.
That wall was very, very good. Hagglefish TC, this feels a lot like Inkblot from maybe, I don't know if it was a couple sets ago or if it was from last set, but getting past second checkpoint on Hagglefish is a must, because second checkpoint is once again right in front of their spawn. They can come in from the tents here, from the sidelines of spawn, and basically just stop your progress and put it at an absolute halt on Hagglefish. You're Sisyphus here. You gotta roll your tower up the hill.
You really do, especially with, like, such excellent teams that we have on stream right now. You really are just Sisyphus rolling the rock up the hill with tower control on Hagglefish Market. It's a bit of a pain, especially, like you said, having to go right past that tent where your opponent can easily just be there and get you. That first checkpoint, absolute nightmare to get through if you don't know what we're doing. And you know what? It's just... It's hard. It's hard for us frontlines out here on Hagglefish Market Tower Control.
It's a long day. If anything, Carney, you said that you like a good tower crab showcased by Josh last set. If anything, we have the potential to see a tower crab from both teams, assuming that at least Tickle stays on Sword, or stays on Stamper Nouveau. If
you know
anything,
what?
we
I'm
just gotta
excited.
We just gotta know if if we're going to Denny's, we'll commit to the double sword. That is that if that happens again. Oh man.
I do like a good crab on tower. Totally said this as an unbiased party who does not main splat dualies, guys. I pinky promise I am unbiased when it comes to these things. But
oh my
like
god,
you
they're running it.
they're running it.
Oh, Baha gonna come
Whoa!
in here. They have a blaster, and of course, tower is a blaster mode here. Potentially, they could be Baja blasted.
They are going to be Baja blasted. We've seen Baja on stream before in these past weeks with that blaster, and they are very good at it. But you know what? We are not there quite yet. It is just the first 30 seconds of the match that we are doing right now. We already have several specials up for both teams. And unfortunately, Moonshine does go 2 down in a very, very bad position. Denny's taking the tower first, and you know what? They're going to go right up to checkpoint 1, the infamous checkpoint 1. They've got the crab on the tower. You love to see it. Crab on tower, like I said, I really like it, but not only because I think it's very fun, it's also just a very good position to be in. You are moving with the objective. As something as not quite as mobile as a crab tank, that is a very good place to be. With your back towards the pillar in the center of the tower and your crab just shooting everything in front of you, it is very good.
Dude, Moonshine is going already in their base here as they claim first checkpoint just as quickly as we're going to Denny's here. That was 3 members into their spawn, I think, being led by Baja, of course, with the Baja Blaster. They're already on Soda Buff, and they're going to move further than we're going to Denny's, and they're moving towards the second checkpoint, but Yacht going to take out, by the looks of things, Baja, and they're going to pop the Zipcaster here. It's a 2v1 on whoever, who I think was Yuma on the Stamper, of course, here. Gaming's gonna take down Bazin here, a very timely pick. They notice the flank taking out another sword. Tickle's in a situation where it must duel Gaming in order to win. They're marked here, and even in a 2v1, Gaming takes out Tickle, then Gaming goes down to what I assume to be Bazin or X on the V-shot here. Moonshine potentially gonna start another push already.
Unfortunately, it seems like Moonshine does go 3 down, so no push yet for them. Denny's is going to be taking this push this time. That Zipcaster is ready. I think that Gyat is waiting for another player to jump onto the tower before they use that Zipcaster, because once they use that Zipcaster, they are unfortunately going to have that tower move all the way back. It seems like that Denny's does go 1 down, but with their sodas up, they immediately come right back up. The double sword doing their best over here, unfortunately not finding much as Gyat does go down. That it is just, Baja is being an absolute menace here. With the Baja Blaster, with the triple splashdown, it is just not a good day if you are faced up against the Baja Blaster.
Hazen's immediately gonna jump out under threat of a 2v1. Gaming is already situated at their steps here. They've popped the Zuka already, and it's looking like Evil Tickle's gonna get marked by the point sensor here. They have Gaming in their sights. Yuma's already in their face here, and Tickle's crab has been immediately broken. Moonshine is pushing past the first checkpoint now. Evil Tickle is onto their backline. Gaming has been noticed by Tickle gonna get down. Baja sharking just in the nick of time to take out X here. The splashdown has come out, taking out Bazin, and it's looking like it's only one more sword or one more shot left on the scene to defend Moonshine's push. X pops out the Trizuka, potentially getting any targets. No. Gaming has Tickle in their sights, not gonna get them so far. They're all grouped up here, and it's looking like they're gonna have to, the boulder's gonna roll right back down as the rest of Moonshine is 3 down.
We are less than a minute left until the end of this match. Denny's has control of the tower. They're in the advantage state because they are so far pushed up, in the double Trizuka kill. Oh my goodness, proving that Moonshine is not ready to lose to them just yet. That was a triple. Oh my goodness. With that Trizuka getting so many kills in such a short period of time, the sodas are out, the Zipcaster is out. Yuma is ready to cause a little chaos on the front lines there with that Zipcaster. And here they come right into the platform. They get 1, they get 2. And it is just absolute bloodshed on Denny's platform here. Moonshine has the lead. There's 15 seconds left on that clock. The boulder of the tower is going to be rolling back, but it is just absolute mayhem here.
Yeah, even under the pressure of Gyat, Zipcaster, and also Gyat returning for round 2, that was a 1v3 as Moonshine will take game 2 on TC.
An incredible match on both sides here, as we are just tied 1-1. Look at those matching emotes.
Oh,
look at those matching emotes. They are stanced up. They're squared up. That was great.
Oh man. Even if Denny's has a lot of frontline pressure here, especially since it looks like they don't actually have a set backline. They're running 2 swords and 2 shooters. There isn't a backline like Moonshine has here, and perhaps that's why Moonshine has been able to provide not just a really good offense, but also a good defense from going to Denny's pushes, and also from defending the tower from any counter pushes that going to Denny's has here.
The backless comp definitely is a choice, especially if you're running 2 swords on your team, but with the very flexible way that the NZAP can play most of the time, it's something that can work, and it's something that we see has worked in the match before this, where Denny's took the first win. We are tied up now, though, so we are going to continue going to a game 4, as we are moving on to the game 3, Museum de Alfonsino Clam Blitz, which are
Shout out Clam Blitz!
Shout out to Twitch user Clam Blitz, who has been chatting about clamblets in the Twitch chat. It's time. This is the clamblets of the set. Are you ready?
It's Clams on Museum here, and oh man.
It's Museum Clams.
It's gonna be another Bloodbath and Spawn, Carney, I swear.
It's always a bloodbath in Spawn. It's Museum Clamblets. Like what more are you asking these teams to do?
That's true. It's a staple on Clams here. If you're not making it out of mid, then you won't make it in their spawn here. Are we still going to see 2 swords coming out from Denny's?
I hope so. This has just been very, very fun to watch so far and commentate for. I love the double swords duo.
Oh man. Pickle and Gyat on those 2 swords here. Will they still run those 2 swords though? We don't know. And Gyat has oh, that's 3 shooters. That's 3 shooters instead.
Is that double 52?
Oh, okay. Okay. When they were mastering the blade.
Range Blaster?
Denny's, you have constantly been surprising us, going from 2 stampers to 2 V-half gallons. They've immediately gone from aggression to control here. Tickle is gonna get 2, not 2 picks, but 2 members have already gone down on the side of Moonshine, and someone is immediately going to get the basket broken. I think that was one of the gals here. Looking at that was X here. They had a second power clam ready to rip here. Basin's gonna go down to Gaming Zuka here, and even when they're under the threat of Killer Whale, Moonshine stands valiant nonetheless. X is immediately gonna go down here. Baja also went down early into that push, but if anything, going to Denny's needs to watch out for the push that Moonshine can have, since they have the Pity Clan at their disposal.
You know what? 2 swords into 252 gals and a range blaster is not something that I would have expected, but it is working very well for Denny's so far. Moonshine does have a little bit of the advantage here. They do have the clams necessary to build a push. They are on Denny's spawn area and trying to get to the basket. Yuma does go down before they are able to find a pick, though, unfortunately losing. Oh my goodness. It is just absolute insanity here. Those 52 gals are so damn fast that I cannot keep track of them. But unfortunately, I don't have to because they do go down.
There are a number in Gaming's kill streak here. They may be fast, but they aren't fast enough to outrun a speeding Zuka shot here. Moonshine will take the lead now, 74-80 here. A Pisto taking out both the Gallons again here. Gaming's gonna throw some bonus times in to make it 53 here. Yacht's gonna go down as well, and a Pisto is just taking more shots from the backline here, providing some extra firepower here. It's looking like the rest of Moonshine doesn't have enough time nor clams to keep this push alive, but that's still a very solid push going beneath the 50 threshold. They're already halfway to a knockout within the first 2 minutes of the match.
Girl, I've just realized I've been calling the rapid the range the entire time.
Range Blaster.
So embarrassed.
Not Range Blaster. It's rapid. You're right.
It's rapid.
It's right.
I was looking at it and I was like, I think that's actually I think that's actually Blapid. My sincerest apologies, all of my Blapid fans out there. Speaking of Blapid fans, we're on the Blapid right now with that clam. It seems like Denny's does have the clams necessary to start a push. They just need to get up into spawn. And with Moonshine going 1 down, they are going to try their best to do so. The zap on Denny's is down for just a second, though. Those walls from both of the 52s just proving to be more of an annoyance than a threat to Moonshine at this point. And you know what? It's just been absolutely madness.
Especially considering they're under fire from Gaming Zuka. Yacht with the Blapid is going to move in, taking another score, but we're going to Denny's now. All they need to do is get some clams in here. X is going to make a couple of clams in. That's going to make it 64, but Fazin is at a impasse here. They're being blocked off by the rest of Moonshine, and they're being flushed out here. They're going to make it to 64. not barely making lead yet. That's gonna get some indirects here, potentially getting some picks. Baha's gone down, but it's already 2 down for going to Denny's here. That's location, of course, has been marked since they're holding the power clam, and Episto is just in that spot again, an ideal spot to get some picks, some straight picks from Spinner here. Baha's gonna pop out with the blaster, and the power clam is just so close to making it, but Baha's gonna go down. The clam holder's gone down. That's a very, very awkward spot for the clam to rest in, but that doesn't really matter since Episto still holds a power clam of their own here, and they're calling the rest of their team to go in. The clam has been thrown here, and someone's making a rush for it. Doesn't make it though. Baha is trying to get some picks, potentially get the clam in, but they're still in the lead. 20 points forward here as 30 seconds remain on the clock here. We're going to Denny's. Needs to make a strong push now or make it to overtime if they want to claim this game for themselves.
We're going to Denny's.
Whoa.
More like we're going to overtime. Oh!
One of them DC'd.
Oh no! That's unfortunate. Unfortunately, the DC does not matter. We are already way too far into the game. And now it is Denny's time to shine. With that DC, they're going to be able to move forward a little bit easier. As overtime hits, they start dunking in those clams. And we are just a few clams away from victory, which they easily do. Oh, you hate to see it.
Yeah, that was a very unfortunate disconnect from Moonshine here, as we're going to Denny's is now sitting 2-1 against Moonshine here. Of course, $20 a year, guys.
We're going to Denny's. We're going to disconnect.
Oh, man.
Oof. That was unfortunate for Moonshine, but like I said, there's nothing that they can really do about it. Unfortunately, we were way too far into the game for the disconnect rules to kick in. Oof.
Yeah. Especially even still, both teams had a lot of things to offer for this match. Of course, Moonshine being extremely good on the defense here, and of course getting a really strong push, a really strong halfway push within the span of a single attempt here. But even still, we're going to Denny's absolute switch up here, going from 2 swords to 2 gallons. Definitely was a whiplash for the rest of Moonshine here. Maybe they had no idea how to react to this, but even still, they had like a very strong presence. I can't. Word salad again.
Word salad. You know what? That's okay. 2 swords to 252s and a Blapid was just wildly out of left field. I, not in a million years, would expect to see just that comp in specific. But like you said before this match started, Denny's needed a backline. Blapid was the answer. And I guess the 52s were also there. You know what? I'm joking. They did a great job. The 52s and their walls were just becoming an absolute pain in the butt for Moonshine at one point. And you know what? They did a very good job of holding it down the fort when they did.
Oh man. Game 4. Another Undertow Spillway Rainmaker match here. If anything, do you think we'll actually get the whole mass fighting at first checkpoint here? Because last time we were on Undertow Rainmaker here, we saw the teams at a massive impasse in mid for basically half the match.
Oh, absolutely. I'm thinking at least half of the match is going to be spent in mid, just duking it out. Especially with the comps and with the way that these teams are and the way that they have been fighting each other this entire time, it's just been nuts. So yeah, I expect that we will either maybe get massive fights in mid and not get any checkpoint, or we're going to get a checkpoint immediately. No in between.
There is 0 in between this time around here. If anything, we're going to Denny's has been absolutely visceral with how they're doing their team comps. Like, will they stick with 2 gallons? I mean, well, gallons can obviously output a lot of paint and be honestly really good for breaking a barrier, or not a barrier, but a bubble here. What else could they do, Cardi?
You know what? I'm not entirely sure. I'm honestly hoping to see the double sword comp come back, specifically because of Crab.
Yeah, Crab. Oh
Crab
man,
plus
yeah.
Rainmaker.
Crab plus Rainmaker. It's also, since Undertow has a lot of high ground spots that crabs usually like to sit in here. There's one close to the leftmost side pedestal, but also there's one that overlooks mid here that can obviously get a lot of paint down.
Absolutely. But you know what? We might see something completely different. With the way that Denny's just gave us 2 gallons out of left field, they might switch to something like we haven't seen yet. They might be holding their aces close to them, because as if you cannot tell by the scores right now, we're already at match point. If Denny's wins this next game, they're going to be going straight ahead. And you know what? We'll see what they pull out for us this time. I'm excited.
Okay, that's 3
3?
3 gallons. If you guys have not gotten tired of gals introducing a third, and that's I think a
352 gals.
X is swapped into Swizz, and that's 3 gals for We're Going to Denny's, and that's an immediate pop for Denny's as well here. How will Moonshine fare? Baja's already gonna go down to the new kid, Swizzy, and Swizzy's already moving up. Yacht, they're all getting the last soda as the rest of Going to Denny's is gonna take their gallon of soda. Yacht's already going to potentially get a backline pick. That's 3 down for Moonshine, and Going to Denny's has the Rainmaker. Gotch making a mad dash for the first checkpoint.
Like I said, it was either going to be a super fight in mid, or they're going to go straight for the checkpoint. It is less than a minute than this match started. The 3 gallon 1 zap comp as proving to be excellent for them. All 3 gals do go down in that moment though, but it is not for naught, because you know what? Denny's is already past, or close to being past first check. That Trizuka is going to find a pick as Moonshine picks up the Rainmaker, gets those 3 gals down once again, and they're going to dunk the Rainmaker into that checkpoint right now. The Zap has the sodas. Sodas are up. They are popped. Moonshine is going to pop the Rainmaker right now, but unfortunately unable to get through the triple gal madness.
Don't mess with the gal firing squad. If one gal can't get a pick, you know the other one will. Gaming's gonna be the last person down. But Moonshine is on soda buff for this next push here. The Rainmaker hasn't gone out of the second checkpoint here, and the rest of the gals are now on the scene at mid here. Swizzy's going to move forward, getting 2 actually here. Swizzy's gonna go down to the pencil, and Rainmaker has been reset here. Moonshine is in the lead, 47-60. But with anything, we've seen Going to Denny's already can make plays. X is going to take 2 picks, and already going to pop out the crabs. Why I said crabs? Whales. The second whale is going to come out, targeting Yuma. Bazin has the Rainmaker. They're going to fire charge shots, and the rest of the gal firing squad is moving in, deploying the walls. Watch out for Yuma with the Zipcaster. Watch out for Baja as well. Swizzy making sure that there are no loose ends as We're Going to Denny's takes lead 43-47. It's close.
I hope you guys like the triple 52 gal gameplay, because we are certainly loving it. Moonshine is going to be taking back their area here as Denny's does go 1 gal down. Rainmaker has been reset. The first whale is up, and it is finding people all over the place. And you know what? These gals are doing an excellent job of dispatching any lone people that they can get their little gal mitts on. Yuma going down to a 52 gal. Episto here has the Rainmaker, moving it forward. They need to get it a little bit farther past the checkpoint in order to gain the lead back. There's 1 minute and 45 seconds left on this match as we are going forward. The gals need to unite and grab that Rainmaker out of Episto's hands. But unfortunately, it seems like Denny's might be staggering a little bit here. Episto moving forward, trying their best to get past the impenetrable walls that the gals are throwing down.
Speaking, oh, they lose the lead just in time. Apisto is moving fast here. 26-43 here. We're going to Denny's, needs to make a very strong push onto Moonshine's front line in order to win this. Bazin, of course, has the Rainmaker to ensure that all three gals are on the scene. Swizzy's gonna go down first here. Baja's taking heavy fire from both the gals and the Rainmaker. X is in front here, followed by Gyat. It's only a matter of time until some more action occurs. One gal's gone down, two gals have gone down here. Can we go for the three here? Yuma has the Rainmaker in their sights. Bazin and Gyat are moving forward onto the steps. Interesting play here. Going to 32-26 here. It's only X on the scene. Swizzy's backed up towards mid. Oh god, going for a dip into the water here. But the rest of We're Going to Denny's is slowly making their way toward it. The Rainmaker has been reset, forcing the fight to return to mid here. Swizzy's gonna take down Yuma. Gaming's gonna take down Swizzy. Canceling another laser going out from We're Going to Denny's. X is pushing out. The laser has gone out, targeting Yuma, targeting potentially Baja. But Baja's gonna take down X. And man, this is like, people are teleporting here.
It has just been the gals are fast and they know what they want. The gals want picks and the gals are trying their best to get picks. It is overtime. Denny's needs to unite. They need to coordinate for this push. They need to get it a little bit past the the Trizuka from behind spawn. Going after the Rainmaker and a clean shot to kill that Rainmaker all in one fell swoop. And you know what that means? That means that Moonshine has won their second game of the set. We are going to match point game 5.
We have forced a game 5 here. If anything, we've learned from the games that Moonshine have won, they are used. They can adapt fast to a comp change from We're Going to Denny's. First, they adapt to the double gallon comp. Then they adapt to the triple gallon comp. Insane work coming in from Moonshine, of course, and also insane work from We're Going to Denny's here. A lot of pressure can be applied with an instance of 3 gals. That means 3 walls. That means 3 killer whales. I don't know if we ever got a moment in that match in which all 3 gals popped their whales at once. We saw here Apisto making insane movement, getting the lead just barely further here, pushing it to 26, and it's looking like We're Going to Denny's tried to imitate that going up the steps, but going up the steps is a very risky move, and especially considering all of Moonshine was posted up there, I don't know if they were able to make it that far.
Yeah, it was a very, very risky move trying to go up the steps. I personally would have tried and pushed left a little bit more, because while it seemed like everybody on Moonshine was not over on the left, they were protecting the steps. But you know what? Last game of this set, we are going to the infamous Mahi Mahi Splat Zones. And you know what? We all know that Mahi Mahi isn't a real map until it hits that 60-point mark. But you know what? We're gonna see exactly what Denny's has in store for us this time. Who knows? It could be 452 gals. Wouldn't that be something, huh?
Wouldn't it be funny if they collected everything that they've done and put it on one, like, Denny's Grand Slam plate? They pull out 2 gallons and 2 swords. But if anything, we've seen that Bazin has been a mainstay, like, was probably the only one to stick with their weapon on, what was it, on NZAP being the cooler provider of the team, being perhaps the drink server of this Denny's. And it's definitely something that, of course, is essential for being in comp, especially if you're this far into the tournament here. We're going to go into our final game of semis. Whoever moves onto this goes to winners finals to face Mammoth Cave National Park here. That's a bamboo.
Oh my god.
That is a oh, so we have no dupes, but this time we witnessed Gyat go on the bamboo.
It's bamboozler time, and as Denny's moves into neutral, they are really unable to get a good hold, or my apologies, Moonshine was unable to get a good hold of the zone while Denny's is able to cap it first. They lose control, but only for a little bit, as unfortunately that Zuka does find purchase on one of the members of Denny's. Moonshine now in control here, moving up. Highly aggressive here, and they are doing their best to keep Denny's out of zone, but with those chumps going out, they are unable to do much. Maybe Bamboo was the strategy here because they've got the chumps and they know where to aim them. And while Bamboo might be a little bit of an off pick here, an off meta pick, Bamboo is quick. It is fast and it knows how to kill if you know how to play it right.
Most definitely here. We saw it have a lot of important picks here, making sure, like, even if it's little paint output, it still provided a lot of good zone coverage here, and especially with its special of the super chumps. Yuma's gonna go down here, mid Zipcaster. Swizz is gonna go down to Baha here. No one's noticed Baha yet here, as Moonshine's penalty points has been removed here, and they're ticking down. They need to beat 52 here. Gaming trying to make a mad dash to the back line, not unnoticed by Swizz. And Swizz is fighting within the chumps, having potentially the pencil on their side, but Episto, being the backline that they are, manages to take them down. Yacht is going to take down Baha, perhaps. And it's left to Gaming, and yeah, Gaming's probably... The rest of Moonshine's actually probably like being peeled back here, especially under the threat of Zuka. Gaming's gonna pop out their own Zuka, gonna take out X just before it runs out here. Baha's moving in with the splashdown, claiming no targets as it gets cancelled by X by the end zap here. It's very close, 52-60.
Very close indeed. Moonshine does have control of the zone and of mid right now. And while they are moving through those penalty points, Denny's is going to launch the chumps and move forward with them. They do lose the lead, but just for hopefully a little bit as they try and get it together. Moonshine over here doing their best to keep control of the zone, and they are doing a very good job of it. They are staggering Denny's one after the other as Denny's tries their best to get into mid. Unfortunately, it seems like every time they do it, they fail. We are almost down to less than 10 points. Moonshine needs to keep control of the zone, but unfortunately, Denny's manages to flip it, giving Moonshine a 57-point penalty as Denny says that we are not done yet. They are going for the win no matter what. And you know what? They're doing a very good job over here. We can see Swizzy sharking, trying their best to get any sort of pick, and they are moving quick because of those sodas. They've got their whale up, they are shooting their whale off, and they do end up getting a pick off of Episto, which is very, very unfortunate for Moonshine as Episto was playing the pencil.
No sodas for Moonshine, but two members of We're Going to Denny's is going down. They get the lead just in time here. 50 penalty points for both teams within the final 2 minutes within the final 2 minutes of this match here. Baha is potentially dodging Zuka shots. Yuma is also dodging Zuka shots. Yuma has the Zipcaster ready here, especially considering the rest of We're Going to Denny's is in their spawn here. They're gathering around the soda. Now would be perfect time to pop the Zipcaster, but possibly saving it for a better time here. Azuka has been popped as well, potentially coming from Gaming. No target so far. Yuma has gone down. X is going to be the one to make it onto scene. They have Azuka ready to rip here. They're going to take down Episto. Episto is catching 0 breaks here. It's a 2v1. Gaming is going to go down. They're losing the lead here. Moonshine is ticking and ticking fast, but We're Going to Denny's immediately flipping it back here. That's 47 more penalty points for Moonshine. It is definitely going to go into overtime here. Swizzy is dodging shots left and right. They almost have the whale ready to rip. They do. They have it set on Yuma. They have it set on Episto, making sure they can get the backline targets down here. Baha popping the splash down. They're going to take down Bazin. No sodas for We're Going to Denny's here. X. Oh, they do have their sodas, actually. Their penalty points are almost out here. And We're Denny's is staying on their table. They need to finish this in order to claim the Grand Slam for themselves and move to winners finals here. The rest of Moonshine is on scene, and they actually get lead. We're Going to Denny's, I think, is won by knockout.
They are going to Denny's. They have knocked out Moonshine from the winners. Moonshine going to the losers bracket on this. That was some incredible back and forth gameplay there from both Denny's and Moonshine. They were both taking very good advantage of each other's disadvantages here, and some very, very good coordination. While it seemed like Denny's was in a little bit of a pickle for most of the last 2 minutes of that match, they finally got it together for those last couple of seconds, preventing overtime. Well, I'm maybe not preventing overtime. I honestly could not see it. It was just so quick.
It definitely was quick. So much carnage happening within mid, especially since both teams were ticking below the 10 threshold here. Especially... Oh man, that was 11-12 here. That was deadly close.
Extremely close. Way closer than you want to be on a Game 5 going into finals. And you know what? Speaking of finals, we are about to get into it. And you know what? We're gonna be right back. We're gonna take a quick little break. So if you haven't gotten a drink, if you haven't gotten a snack this entire time that we've been yapping at you, now would be your chance. We'll be right back right after this break.
We have entered finals here. After a brief break and after a bit of water and tortellinis, me, and Carney are back for winners bracket finals of Prism Break. Of course, the winners of last set, we're going to Denny's after this with LP, Tickle, Zeal, and Bazin going up against Mammoth Cave National Park with Lagoon, Drag, Skep, and Cool.
Tortellinis and water have been had on my end specifically, which after this set, I am going to go and munch on them, and they are going to be delicious. But you know what? Finals time. It's not time for tortellinis, it's time for finals. We're going to Denny after this versus Mammoth Cave National Park. Like you said, finals best of 5. And after finals, we will be swapping over to our lovely Block 2 commentators, Rocket and Topic, as per usual, honestly. And they will be going through the rest of it, including the losers bracket and the bracket reset.
Oh man, looking at this map mode list, you don't really see it on stream yet, but I think I'm seeing it right now. We're going to do Barnacle Zones. Oh, here it is. Barnacle Zones, Clams on Scorch, Ship-Shaped Tower, Crab Leg, Rainmaker, and if push comes to shove, if Game 5 is forced, Mako Tower. Clam Blitz, we're doing Clams Game 2.
It's Clams Game 2 this time, not Clams Game 3.
That's one
and
match.
It's Sconch.
Yeah, it's Sconch Gonch.
Sconch Clam Blitz.
But we'll get to that when we have to. Barnacle Zones here. Previously, we've seen Barnacle on Clams, but Barnacle Zones is definitely one of the maps that it's another, like, Barnacle's probably like a very versatile map here. We see it on a lot of, actually we see it a lot on Zones. We see it a lot on, and then we see it ever so often on Clams here. Barnacle Zones is definitely one of those maps in which it's a lot flatter than a lot of the other maps, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a flatter map than most. You know what I don't see much on Barnacle? Tower control.
Maybe for good reason, I'm not gonna lie.
No, you're right, you should say it.
Maybe for good reason.
Maybe for a good reason. Barnacle Tower is, yep.
Maybe best we don't talk about the horrors of Barnacle Tower.
Sure is.
Oh man. We've seen We're Going to Denny's have the most insane comp switch-ups of all time. We saw them first on 2 Splatana Stampers. We then saw them switch to 2 52 gals. And then, when no one expected it, 3 52 gals. So, and within the final game, they also brought out Bamboo here. So, what will they bring out this time?
Oh! That is a vanilla heavy.
That's V-heavy.
V-heavy 52 decav and a zap against the decav, brush, carbon, and zap on Mammoth Cave National Park. Some very interesting comps that we've got going on here, but Denny's makes the first move with the first cap going to them, and Mammoth Cave National Park not really sure how to respond. They do go 2 down, Denny's pushing forward aggressively into their area. We see that whale going down, Mammoth Cave once again just going, that carbon just cannot catch a break.
Yeah, that's just kind of how Carbons do. When you're in the front like that, you can't catch a break. Lagoon gonna take down both Bazin and Tiny Tim before getting taken down by Batsu, their new 52 gal user. Pool is going to pop the bubble on zone here. That's probably going to be useful for defending them against any enemy ult specials coming out here. I think that the whale coming out from We're Going to Denny's. Basin's gonna pop the cooler, so now they're on soda buff. Drag is in a really precarious situation against the Decavitator here. The whales are gonna come out from Lagoon on the brush here. Skep going down to Batsu. Lagoon and Batsu are gonna duel out. That's a 2v1, and Cool is gonna be a number perhaps in Batsu's kill streak. It's 54-43. The lead is very close. That's a trade on the Decavitator and the brush, and Batsu's jumping in to join the rest of We're Going to Denny's to take out Cool.
And take out Cool, they do indeed. Mammoth Cave National Park is once again facing a situation where they need to get into zone, because that zone is now in the lead of Denny's, but it is just barely enough right now, because Mammoth Cave is back in control of the zone. 43-39, small leads once again, but Denny's pushing forward, getting pick after pick. 2 down on either side, though. That whale coming out, and unfortunately finding a third for Mammoth Cave National Park. And Denny's is going forward and pushing into their spawn, forcing Mammoth Cave to get as far away as humanly possible. Swizzy over there just seeing that carbon and immediately noping out, which is honestly the best situation The best answer for that situation. It is 2 down on either side, but Denny's has the lead, and it's a big one. We're down to the single digits here. 4 ticks, 3, and... Oh my goodness!
They're stopped at 1 here as Mammoth Cave National Park takes down 3 members over going to Denny's here. It was just Bazin left to defend against 3 members, but then 2 members go down on Mammoth Park. I think Swizzy's just going insane into their backline, taking out Cool for the last member to cause the wipeout here. Batsu already has the whale ready to rip as well here. I think they spot Lagoon. Maybe they don't, but now that bomb throw definitely does here. Cool is going to be sitting down in a deep pit. They're going to go onto the side alleys. They're up against Bazin here. Bazin's going to take down Cool. That's no bubble for them. The whales are going to come out from Lagoon. Huntington has a wave breaker ready to rip here. That could probably deter any members of Mammoth Cave into pushing in. Here comes the wave breaker, marking Skep and Lagoon. Skep is going to go down here. Drag is going to go down here. And that's a wipeout.
Ooh.
Allowing... We're going to Denny's to win game 1 off a knockout.
You hate to see it. Oh my goodness. Denny's was showing very, very good prowess on their just everything during that first match. But we are not counting out Mammoth Cave National Park just yet. There is a reason that they are in the finals, and we're hopefully going to see that reason here shortly. Is that while you said that first game does go to we are going to Denny's later, I really do hope they go to Denny's later. I'm like anticipating. They need a Grand Slam after this, honestly.
Oh man, it's a battle between 2 American establishments, the humble Denny's versus the expansive Mammoth Cave National Park. I looked it up, it's in Kentucky apparently.
Yes, but my buddy Frostix here did not know that Mammoth Cave National Park was an actual national park in America. So if you didn't know, you're in Canada. That's okay. So if you didn't know, yes, that is an actual national park, and it is the longest cave system in the world, actually, if you'd like to know. But you know what? We're not here to talk about this. I can go on my soapbox later. What we are here to talk about is Scorch Gorge Clam Blitz. That is going to be our next game.
Oh man, Scorch Clams is one of those clam maps in which it's just so much fighting near the basket, and basket area in Scorch Gorge is just so tight here. It's either you're locked in close to the basket or you're in spawn here, so no matter where you are, you will be under fire during a push.
Absolutely. Scorch Gorge Clam Blitz. You know what? She's a map. Like you said, under fire constantly. I hope you are ready because we have another bit of a comp switch here. The Decapitator switching for a bucket, which is a very interesting choice on Swizzy there. But Mammoth Cave National Park is going to be sticking with the comp that they had previously. Denny's moving forward, the first into neutral here, and the first to get as many clams as they possibly can, which is interesting considering the fact that Mammoth Cave National Park does have a... Holy crap!
Drag getting a wipeout all to themselves here. Massive work with that carbon roller.
Oh my god!
Started for Mammoth Cave National Park here. I don't know if we're going to Denny's could even react to that.
Sometimes you're a carbon and you just kill the other team. I'm pretty sure that carbon just absolutely wiped out the whole team in one go. But you know what? We're not... That was incredible. Oh my goodness. Mammoth Cave has the lead, 56-100. We're going to Denny's after this, is going to try their best to react to that incredible gameplay from that carbon. Oh my god, I'm still reeling over that. But you know what? Mammoth Cave is 2 down here. Denny's has the advantage shape. They just need to capitalize on it as they push forward. They are trying their best with that end zap to find a pick, unable to do so. Mammoth Cave going 2 down once again, and Denny's just needs a clam in the basket, and they need to be able to get as much clams as they possibly can in. But it seems like Mammoth Cave is unable to stop them as Denny's starts piling in the clams, and as soon as they get one more clam in, they're going to be able to take the lead, and they do indeed. 56-51 here. Denny's trying their best to hold the basket area here. Unable to do much but throw a couple more clams in. Oh my goodness.
The push still isn't over. Bazin's coming in over with the power clam to get 16-56 here. It's strong push after another here. As we're going to Denny's is basically like 2 power clams away from getting another knockout here. We're seeing Drag, of course, with that carbon roller, gonna do some gremlin stuff, as he said earlier here. Clam economy definitely is on the favor of Mammoth Cave here. They have the pity clam, but they also have 19 individual clams spread across all their members here. Looking like someone popped a Zuka, but going down here. Lagoon has Batsu in a duel, in a chokehold. Drag's already on the scene even after going down, after their Zuka's been cancelled. Batsu's gone down here. Lagoon has the whale ready to rip. They have it set to Bazin. Bazin's gonna go down here. Lagoon has the power clam necessary. They have 3 power clams in their possession. Someone just needs to head back to base and grab the pity clam. It's 32-16. The strikes are coming in for Mammoth. We're going to Denny's here. They're 3 down for Mammoth Cave, and it's only Skep left to pick up the pieces and claim some more power clams for the rest of Mammoth Cave. And it's looking like that's the case. They have 2 power clams in their possession. Clam economy is still on the side of Mammoth Cave.
Like you said, Mammoth Cave did a very good job there of evening out the scoreboard a little bit. We are now 16-26, which is much more reasonable than what it was previously. Mammoth Cave has control with that bubble. It's 2 down on either side. Unfortunately, Skep does get stopped, but the Carbon with the power clam dunking it right in, and they just need one more clam in order to get that lead back into their favor, and they go in with the power clam ends the game on a knockout. Oh my goodness.
I think we just saw that we've seen that happen again. It was down to the last couple points and Skip flying in with the power clam just in the nick of time to cause another wipeout, or not a wipeout, to cause a knockout and claiming second game for the rest of Mammoth Cave here. We're seeing this on the replay now. We can finally get a recap of the damage that Drag was doing. Insane. Within the first seconds of the match, Drag gets 4 picks for themselves here. But immediately, we're going to Denny's, immediately collapsed back here by having a push that lasted so long here. Batsu spawning just in time here to get more clams, to potentially get the power clam, and I think they did get the pity clam in. That lasted for perhaps 3 push cycles long. That's like a made-up time measurement that I made up on the spot.
Yeah, it was some very, very, very good gameplay from Mammoth Cave National Park's team. They're the official Splatoon team of Mammoth Cave National Park we are seeing right here, right now, folks. But you know what? We are not quite over yet. These 2 teams are here for a reason. They are so evenly matched. It is incredible. These past 2 games that we've been commentating, just showing off why they are in the finals, why they are here. And you know what? We are gonna keep going with ship-shaped cargo coach tower control, which, like I was saying earlier, is the Sisyphus map.
Yeah. If Sisyphus didn't roll a tower up Inkblot or Hagglefish, he definitely rolled the tower on Ship Shape here. It just feels like any checkpoint on this map can be lockout, aside from perhaps the first, especially since the first checkpoint is kind of just there. You kind of just get it for free, if I remember correctly.
It's basically free, but you know what isn't free? That second checkpoint. Going right up against the enemy's spawn point and something that is easily accessible to them is not quite the move that you usually want to do, but the tower doesn't care. The tower takes you there anyways. As we are going in, I believe we are seeing the same comps as before, except we see a shot now.
Batsu switched to the shot. And Swizzy has switched once more to the gal. Swizzy, the jack of all trades and maybe master of all here.
Absolutely. Batsu is doing their best right now to get control of their side with paint, which is very good, very something that they need to do. Oh my goodness! The double Zuka kill from Batsu, incredible as they take the tower, but not quite take the tower. They're thinking about it just for a little bit here. With some incredible gameplay from this brush, Lagoon, getting a pick with that whale was just very good for them. Swizzy on the 52 doing their best to try and menace that Carbon into doing something, but the Carbon says no, it's my turn to do something, and the Carbon fortunately, my apologies, takes down the team. It is just back and forth here on this tower. We're not even close to breaking the first checkpoint here, as Bazin over here doing their best to give jumps to their team. Mammoth Cave does go 1, 2 down, and 3 down as a delayed 3 down. Denny's takes the tower, delayed 4 down on Mammoth Cave there. They're unfortunately in a very bad position.
Exactly here. They finally reached the first checkpoint here. Looking like Bazin's gonna go down first here. Drag's already gonna bust out the Zuka here to potentially take Tiny Tim, but it's gonna go down to Batsu on the V-shot here. All it just takes now, it's 49.98. That's already a very strong push for Denny's here. It's looking like they take down Skep, they take down Lagoon. It's looking like they're still gonna ride tower, but the boulder is now starting to roll back down as Drag and Cool are just gonna start flushing the rest. Oh, we're going to Denny's, but Denny's, once again, is done. They're armed and dangerous. They're going again. Tiny Tim is going to be riding tower. Skep's going to drop down the soda. Just barely dodging out of a Zuka shot coming in from Batsu. Bazin is so deep into their spawn as an end zap. Whoa! Going down to Lagoon. Tiny Tim popping Kraken, taking out both Skep and Cool. All that's left is Lagoon in their way. Lagoon's running fast, just barely making it not so fast though. They go down to Tiny Tim. Amazing switch up to have a V Heavy now.
Yeah, a very, very interesting switch from V Heavy to the other Heavy. We're going to Denny's does have the lead though. They managed to get it all the way to second check at 29. And Mammoth Cave National Park has the tower somewhat in their possession, but they need to be able to coordinate their specials and get into Denny's zone. And unfortunately, they're not going to be able to do that as they do go 3 down and Denny's takes the tower. That was a delayed wipeout, actually. Mammoth Cave National Park getting absolutely bodied by the sheer firepower of Denny's. The Denny's cannot compare to Mammoth Cave. And as we see Tiny Tim with the Heavy on the tower here, as a Heavy should be, we're going into that spot right here at checkpoint 2 that just everybody dreads. But you know what? They're past it already.
Exactly. Tiny Tim popping the Kraken for just the right amount of cheese to get the wipeout here. That was a perfectly timed Kraken for Tiny Tim as we're going to Denny's. Takes game 3, going into game 4, it's now match point for winners finals.
Match point indeed. Denny's has the advantage here of having the 2 points versus Mammoth Cave's 1 point. And if they do manage to win this next game, then they are going to be able to move, well, they're going to be able to take a little bit of a break until the losers bracket is completely done. But don't count Mammoth Cave National Park out just yet. Like you said, this might be match point, but we still have another 2 games to play as we are seeing the replays of this last game and that incredible Kraken cheese onto the tower. Very good Kraken strat there to prevent themselves from being knocked off. We're moving into Crab Lake Capital Rainmaker here as we are going in very shortly. I'm excited to see what these guys are going to be pulling.
Yeah, so far, Mammoth Cave has been very consistent with their comps. They have like a triple frontline almost comp with what they're running with, I think, something akin to a triple frontline here with Skep providing the soda from the backline as well. But even then, Skep was going like, actually no, that wasn't Skep. That was Bazin on the end zap here. It's very interesting. Both of these teams in winner's bracket aren't running the usual pencil for their soda, but running end zap here. That's a really interesting switch up that I've noticed.
Listen, I've said it once in past streams where I've been on Prism Break before, but I'm going to say it again. It's if you can play an off-meta pick well enough that you don't need a meta pick, there is no reason why you should be running a quote-unquote meta team. Like you said, Pencil might be the better option here as opposed to the NZAP, but the two NZAP players that we have on these teams are good enough on their own that they make up for the lack of Pencil, like genuinely.
Yeah, especially considering Bazin has always been the one never to switch the weapons here. That could change, but who definitely knows here. We're going in to Great City. We're going to Crab Leg Rainmaker. We're seeing a ballpoint now coming.
Ballpoint.
We're not seeing a ballpoint coming out of we're going to Denny's bag of tricks here. We're always seeing a new weapon from them every single time. That's Tiny Tim, their Splatling player.
Yeah, a ballpoint's definitely a choice. I genuinely haven't seen a ballpoint in months. So it's kind of a shock to see one making its way into the finals of this Prism Break, but we don't have time for that. Mammoth Cave already has the first checkpoint broken, not even 30 seconds into the match. Oh my goodness. They were quick with that Rainmaker, and they know how to play it. They knew where to take it and how to do it. And Mammoth Cave is struggling on this next couple of seconds here, as they do have a delayed 3 down that ballpoint, making sure that they have their bases covered. The ballpoint has broken the Rainmaker. It is popped, the checkpoint broken now, as Denny's is in the optimal position to move forward into Mammoth Cave's base. And there is the coup de grace of that ballpoint with the vac. And boom, the ballpoint, oof. Go ahead.
No worries, though. Batsu is the only surviving member of We're Going to Denny's within that grand push here. That's still 26 points within the first couple minutes of the match. That's very strong progress. Pool is posted up at their front line here, going down just before being able to find solace within the cover of the big bubbler. Bazin is going to pop Bazooka. Someone's jumping to it. Pool getting a pick onto Tiny Tim. By the looks of things here, Rag is jumping in onto the seed. I think they have Swizzy in their sights here, just backing off though. No one is claiming Rainmaker, and honestly, that is a good choice here. Drag is going to do some devious flicks from low ground here, potentially looking to get Batsu as they pop Zuka here. Cool has already gone down here. Lagoon has taken down Batsu here. More plays with Brush. This is definitely a big Brush tournament here. Drag getting 2 picks with that Trizuka here. That's a very crowded pedestal here, and a very crowded spawn where we're going to Denny's. As they're starting to flush the rest of Mammoth Cave back here. Drag is the one to call the rest of their team, and they're doing more vertical flicks from the ledge. Gonna be taken down by Tiny Tim, and Tiny Tim holding the ground, making sure no one can grab the Rainmaker.
No one is grabbing the Rainmaker because they're all dying in mid. Both teams 2 down. Rainmaker did reset with Tiny Tim and Cool trading, which is interesting. Bazin over here has a double right now. They are moving forward into neutral, trying their best to get a little bit of the Rainmaker. They are just going absolutely nuts. That end zap is just proving to be the main slaying force of We're Going to Denny's after this. Tiny Tim targeting that bubble, getting it down as fast as they possibly can. The whale from Mammoth Cave is coming out. Mammoth Cave has the Rainmaker. Tiny Tim not going to let that happen. The Rainmaker does go it down. And 3 down on Mammoth Cave National Park, and now Denny's has the Rainmaker. They're going to be pushing forward across the perilous grates with the Rainmaker shooting ahead alongside that Trizuka, the Ink Vac, getting it towards the goal as much as they possibly can, getting them to 1348 now. Batsu is going to be flanking here, trying their best to get that decav down, and the decav does go down. But Batsu seems to be unsupported over here. Tiny Tim trying to focus on that carbon, unable to take the carbon down, and unfortunately, it seems like Denny's is staggering a little bit here.
Exactly. Oh, man. Mammoth Cave is finally getting out of their staggering as they're staggering. Denny's in return. They have 1 minute to beat 13. It's basically KO or get sent to losers. Drag is already on the scene, going to take out Batsu first. They're under fire by Tiny Tim here. Tiny Tim has all the targets in their sights, and they're vacuuming for defense. Lagoon and Drag, they're all just jumping Tiny Tim. The shot has gone on. That's a 4K wipeout from Tiny Tim.
Oh my god!
With a single vac shot. Immediately claiming Rainmaker for we're going to Denny's within the last 30 seconds. Batsu and Tiny Tim are squid bagging as they're just firing stray shots onto mid here. Will Cool have what it takes to shut down Tiny Tim on the not Tiny Tim, but Batsu on the Rainmaker. Batsu is just shooting shots onto Cool's area, making sure that they get no footing. Lagoon is rushing forward. The Zukas are coming in. The bombs are coming in. They lose the Rainmaker, but game is set here, and that is such an insane turn of events for we're going to Denny's here. A very clutch play by Tiny Tim.
The clutchest play that we have seen in this entire tournament stream thus far. The quad vac clip of your dreams just happened on Rainmaker. The vac exploding right as Tiny Tim went down, killing 4 people in the process. Getting a wipe on that Rainmaker was an incredible play on We're Going to Denny's after this part, because they were able to just easily hold the Rainmaker after this in their spawn, keeping Mammoth Cave National Park out of their hair for the remainder of the match. And unfortunately, Mammoth Cave National Park is going to be going to the losers bracket, where they're going to have to fight their way all the way back up to the bracket reset if they want to be able to get another shot at fighting We're Going to Denny's after this. But that is not for us to commentate, folks, as unfortunately it is the end of me and Frostix's block, and we are going to be switching commentators just in a moment. Thank you so much for joining us for this first half of Prism Break. My name is Carnival. You can find me on my blue sky underneath, find me on various tournaments around the Splatoon scene, and you'll see me next week for Prism Break on Tuesday once again. It was so nice to see everyone.
Well, in terms of me, you can find me on the site formerly known as Twitter at TK_Frostix, at Blue Sky, at FrostixBlueSky.social. You can find me on Discord at JustFrostix. And if you've watched streams with me, I'm going to say this already. I'm writing a web novel, read Gap Year on Wattpad. You're going to be hearing from Rocket and Topic next. But before we do the comm switch, if I remember correctly, you gotta like show something, right?
Do believe so, yes.
You gotta show some things. Jorian, you gotta put the something on.
Something.
Oh, yeah, it's a little
get
bit
ready for the something.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a promotional video for something from my country of Canada. If you guys live in Vancouver, maybe try showing up to Battle of BC7, where Splatoon 3 is making its, Splatoon 3 will be played here. Show the thing.
Come at me. Well, welcome to the second half of Prism Break number 22. My name is Rocket, joined by Topic as usual here, and taking a look at our teams in losers bracket semifinals, Kaleidoscope and Persona Reference. Topic, you want to take this one?
Yes. Okay. Hello. I am Topic, and the 12th Arcana. This is actually the Hanged Man Arcana. Okay. Uh, complete separation. I actually have a Hanged Man shirt, so yeah, that's pretty cool. But anyways, for our loser semis match review for you, we have at least for game number 1, we have Splat Zones Mako Mart. I think of this map, I think of buckets, I think of blasters, and I like it.
Ledges, ledges, ledges. There's not really a lot of curves in terms of this map. It's always about those straight angles, always about those right angles, really just having to play around those obstacles, and like you mentioned, weapons that can play around it well, such as sloshers that can really use their weapons to really have that upper hand, maybe get to hard to reach places. Blasters do the same thing, and really, that's going to be the main theme of it, but will they be able to utilize it to the max efficiency? That is the question that both teams are going to have to answer here, if they even choose those weapons. But normally when you see zones, you're going to typically see maybe specialists such as Trip Strike, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a T-Tech, Neo Splash from either of these teams. But besides that, we are jumping into game number 1.
Yeah, let's see what we have. Oh, okay, an Ink Brush S-Blast. Very, very interesting. From the other side, from Kaleidoscope, a Sploosh. Actually a Tri-Stringer. Not what we see very often because, you know, it does kind of get bullied by pencils. So, Kaleidoscope bringing out a Tri-Stringer. I'm going to see how they use that as... Okay, an immediate double kill. That's, you know what, talk about a strong opening, as we're going to see them already taking that right stack, I should say, and just moving forward. Look how quickly just having a sploosh and just having that quick movement is able to allow them to get so much paint, because it's been 30 seconds and a majority of the map is painted purple, and they are still going forward.
Yeah, those Trip Strikes going in from the side of Kaleidoscope just to keep them away here, as we see Arcana just trying to see if they can get something in. I believe I just saw an Ultra Stamp from behind. Yes, there it is right there coming out from the sploosh. Won't quite find a target. Actually, never mind. Getting a quick 180 onto Josh. Really well done there. Kaleidoscope are still trying to contest this zone here. However, the two members do fall, so eventually they are being forced back here. But we do see the S-Blast from the side of Arcana managing to actually get a 1-for-1 trade. So great hold from Kaleidoscope, but better retake from Arcana.
I mean, yeah, great job getting in, breaking that hold, but unfortunately, it's not going to last for long. As like you said earlier, Kaleidoscope is they're just everywhere all at once. Just having that sploosh, having that really quick movement options just gives them a lot of space to work with. And as you see, though, 12th Arcana, they're actually doing a really good job of fighting back, getting one, looking for a second, is able to get it. Astro's going to go down, and that will be a very, very quick 2, maybe 3 down for Kaleidoscope. So now, Arcana with an opportunity here to at least get closer to the lead. Milotic's going to go down by a flank to the brush, and 12th Arcana, like absolutely nothing. Like Botter is actually going to get another one, get down to 39, 1 point away, and there it is. After a very, very not good opening, able to really make the comeback here and actually take the lead and keep going. Another one's going to go down, 2 down for Kaleidoscope, and they're not looking to hold back. A quick 3 down once again. So 12th Arcana with possibly a really, really nice comeback here as Kaleidoscope. They're the ones being backed up. They're the ones in their base. Astro there, as you see in the bottom of your screen, just trying to go for a bit of a flank, but won't be enough as... I think that was 100 out. I think that was a verse 100 out. I think it was a verse 100 out.
Yeah, it was. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the retake, great hold initially from Kaleidoscope, but better retake, and that was the understatement of the century. I mean, that retake, like we saw right there, straight 100-0, good hold from them, little fist bump as well, but wow, what we saw from how well the 12th Arcana were able to just turn that entire game completely on its head here. I mean, the game looked dead to rights here. It looked like it would have been a straight 100-0 in the possibilities there for Kaleidoscope. I mean, you saw how well they were able to hold a quick 1-for-1 trade, still in the favor of Kaleidoscope, yes, but Keeley, these key picks in the zone, Keeley onto that Nautilus, really allowed Arcana to move in with the rest of their players, and they never looked back. So really interesting to see that both teams are really just specialized in holds and just being able to create disruption and not allow their enemies in. This is going to be an interesting set for sure as we move to game 2.
I mean, we don't have a lot of time to discuss as both of these teams are ready right away. I still expect minimal changes, but since this is Rainmaker, I do think 12th our Kaleidoscope's gonna have a bit of an advantage here because they have that sploosh, because this is kind of the sploosh mode. But since this is also crab leg, you do have to deal with the uninkable ramps, and actually we're going to see a bit of a switch up from 12th Arcana with Blob going over to that heavy edit, so a bit more of a mobile, I wouldn't say backline, but a bit more of a mobile cooler weapon, so maybe they have the ability to like just kind of pick the Rainmaker up and run. But we're going to see here, as we're going to see kind of deja vu from game number 1 with Kaleidoscope getting a really strong hold, really aggressive hold, and going straight to it, but getting shut down by Josh Shizuka. So very, very quickly getting shut down, but they're not getting stopped, as they're gonna get a couple more points down to 65. But just like the first game, they were stopped short.
Yeah, a last-ditch effort from the Sploosh on the side of Kaleidoscope just to see if they can sneak the checkpoint, but Arcana say, nope, we see you here, as now it's their turn to be stopped just at the checkpoint here, as Arcana, they had the specials, they had basically the delayed wipeout to work with here, but Kaleidoscope are quick with the response, and based on game 1, this is seemingly just looking like a very defensive back and forth where no team really has an opportunity to really move, to really retake here, as, I mean, they've just been able to hold their position so well, both these teams, that is. You see Blob on that edit, really just, I believe that pick is just there just to see if they can counteract the Nautilus on the other side, but hold on, we see Astral just going in with the stamp, maybe trying to see if they can make something happen here. No picks will be had, but a 1-for-1 trade will be had in this neutral fight.
Yeah, month-one trade will be had, and I think the biggest challenge for both the teams on this map is, like you see right here, getting this jump, getting up to the grates, getting here. It will probably be the biggest challenge for both teams, because they've kind of been stuck in mid for a majority of the game so far, but the Rainmaker is going to go down to the brush from 12th Arcana, so 12th Arcana is really keeping up the aggressive, really not letting Kaleidoscope get their feet set, really not letting them kind of be comfortable. As you see, they're going to go down once again, a very, very quick 3 down, so Arcana is going to try to take it and go on this right-hand side, try to go for a bit more of a slower push, trying to waste as much clock as possible, trying to get as much time off the clock as possible. We're going to see here a 1-for-1 trade going out as well, and slowly pushing up down to 47, but they're going to be met by a brick wall of Kaleidoscope's defense, so that will be it. But thankfully for 12th Arcana, Kaleidoscope has yet to break the first checkpoint, so they have a little bit of wiggle room here.
They do. They have half the match left to be played here. They still have plenty of time to work with. Kaleidoscope just inching themselves forward here, taking a little bit of mid at a time. Blob, though, is trying to be a problem here with that edit. Will get quickly taken out by Ferns, not on the other hand, however, but Josh is here with the Zuka. You saw that Zuka take out the Rainmaker last time, however, it won't take it out this time, as the checkpoint will be popped by Kaleidoscope here. 2 players fall for their side, so they will lose numbers advantage. There you see another player following the shot, so now Arcana are able to recollect themselves, and more players from Kaleidoscope continue to fall and stagger here. Yet again, the Sploosh also falls, so a great hold from Arcana, as they still hold the lead here.
I mean, yeah, they hold the lead, but on this map, it's not that big of a lead. And as you can see, 12th Arcana are going to go 3 down. Rainmaker forced to jump out, but not quite able to get the reset. So Kaleidoscope is still within striking distance. They're, 14 points away. So it's not that big of a lead, especially on this map. Once you make that jump, like we see Hidorisu did right there, that's basically at least a tied game, but we're gonna see. But Josh, though, is gonna shut that down once again with a very, very nice geometry kill there with the Trizuka. So some really solid defense coming out for 12th Arcana to make sure Kaleidoscope cannot get any more momentum on their side.
Indeed here, but time is running a little bit thin here. Not a lot of time left. Still a minute, so not like panic go time, but maybe want to change the pace of how you want to play this if you're on the side of Kaleidoscope. That's a good start, managing to take out the Rainmaker and the Brush as well for the side of Arcana. Now Kaleidoscope have the numbers advantage. They have control of mid here. The splashdown is there from Fern to take it down. The jumping Ink Brush there. Now an opportunity may arise for Kaleidoscope to maybe take this lead. However, if they choose to take that right side is notorious for being a no man's land. You were walking through so much great to try to get to that goal here, and the Rainmaker is just being left in a difficult situation. Will elect to take that left jump and actually take the lead. A really nice pull from Kaleidoscope, and they pushed all the way down to 22. What a push.
I mean, yeah, but unfortunately for Kaleidoscope, you see that they don't have coolers, so you're gonna see 12th Arcana go as quickly as possible. Final 20 seconds, there might be a bit of go, but Hito there with a nice and key shutdown on the Rainmaker, making them pop it once again. Another one's gonna go down to Melodic's tri-stringer, and we're gonna see Kaleidoscope just kind of hold and pop the Rainmaker, get another one. Josh gonna get one with the Trizuka, but I don't think it'll be enough as 12th Arcana is gonna pick it up, but they have to be very, very careful. Less than a minute to go. Astral there is going to go down once again, so Kaleidoscope going to be 2 members down. Strikes can come out, try to stall this Rainmaker for a little bit longer. 3 down, very scary for Kaleidoscope. Masamune decides to take it, elect to take this left-hand side. We see it's going to be cleared for just a second, but Melodic is going to be there with the defense. They're going to make the jump, but the flank from behind is going to do it, and Kaleidoscope will hold on and fend off the last hurrah from 12th Arcana and force a game number 3. Okay, I see you.
Yeah, usually in other game modes, it tends to lean towards the last team with the objective usually has a greater chance of getting a comeback, but the one exception to that I feel like is Rainmaker, because once the overtime hits in Rainmaker, there is so much pressure for you to protect your Rainmaker carry, because all it takes, one stray bomb, a little bit of ink there, especially if you're facing against a Tri-Stringer, which Kaleidoscope had. That Tri-Stringer just made the Rainmaker carrier's life so difficult to really navigate, but I want to give massive props to Kaleidoscope's, I wouldn't say last second hurrah, but basically their final push in the waning 30 seconds of regular time. They were able to get a miraculous push there. They were able to push it down all the way to 22 in the blink of an eye, and they just saw an opportunity to do it, and they took it, and that's why they're here. That's why now they have an opportunity to breathe a little bit. Can't breathe too long, though, because now you are fighting for your life still as game number 3 looms for us. And what a game 3 it is. It is Tower Control Ship-Shaped Cargo.
Okay, so if I were 12th Arcana, I wouldn't be surprised if I send the Sploosh player to try to just be as disruptive as possible, because we know this map, you can basically get to the enemy's like main base in like really quickly, right? Since it's not that separated from their court area. And so I would expect 12th Arcana to kind of like be very aggressive, try to take as much space as possible, especially the space between the first and second checkpoint, because that's like the long journey. That's the hike that your parents took to get to school. You know, that's how long that is the main point of this map, is you have to go from one side of the map to complete other one. So that long stretch is going to be very, very hard to defend. So if I'm either team, I think my game plan will be try to keep the enemy team staggered, so they don't have the specials, they don't have the coordination, they don't have what it takes to stop me. Because if you can get there and break the second checkpoint, if you can do that, that's a very big advantage in your favor, so you don't have to do it again. So yes, I think both teams are trying to be as aggressive as possible here, but we're gonna see I believe Blob going back over to the pencil, and for Kaleidoscope, no changes at all.
I mean, you see Toad going back to the S-Blast here for tower control. I mean, you will have the GG Booyah Bomb there, which is a good choice. On the other side, you see the T-Tag for those trip strikes. So both teams having a win condition special, if you would call it that here. But we see Arcana pop that cooler early. You see the brush here trying to make something happen. We'll find one. We'll get the trade. That trade will go in favor of Arcana, though, because that brush was cooler. They'll be back in no time. You see now a lot of fighting over mid here. Two for one fight there. What the trades are going in favor of Kaleidoscope now, as we see them not just approaching a little bit, trying to see if they can make something happen, just trying to put the pressure on the members of Arcana, but no one has yet touched the tower yet.
I mean, yeah, because you want to make sure you keep the bridge in your favor. You want to make sure that you can just make it very easy to get towards that first checkpoint. But 12th Arcana are not making it easy. Make like easy. The hammer's going with a double kill. I think that was for the hammer. Yeah, it was. So Kaleidoscope with a quick early advantage, making their way towards that first checkpoint. We gotta be wary of that pencil kind of sniping you off. Gotta make sure you keep them distracted with the jumps. That might be exactly what you need. Melodic here just gonna sit on tower and actually break through that first checkpoint. So now begins the long snowy trek towards that second one.
Ooh. But now it's Kaleidoscope's turn to be knocked out there. A great hold from Arcana. They weren't able to save the first checkpoint, sure, but that checkpoint is usually is the easier checkpoint to get. Of course, you just win a team fight and it's all yours, but obviously, like you mentioned before the beginning of this game, that second checkpoint is going to be the key here. You have Josh already with the Zuka. The Whale is also available if they so use it. You see the Whale coming out from the Ink Brush here. The Ink Brush will find 2 players down for Kaleidoscope, and this could easily turn into a great Arcana push here. The Zuka is trying to just keep Milotic at bay. The Brush is in the back line, and that is the first checkpoint popped for Arcana and the lead as well.
Yeah, you see that snowball slowly building up, making their way towards that second checkpoint. We're going to see Hito drop. They're going to go down. The Chumps are going to come out for Kaleidoscope, trying to keep 12th Arcana on their toes. It's going to actually not work out that well. The Knot's going to go down as well. Ashel with a bit of a flank, at least keeping Blob's attention towards them. The Booyah Bomb on the tower, but we're going to see Ashel with a hammer, able to get one and stop the snowball before it gets too big. But unfortunately, we're going to see Masamune. They're going to go down once again. So I think that will be the end of the push for 12th Arcana, but that's a massive, massive push, getting it down to 19 points on their first push. So now, if you're Kaleidoscope, you're going to have to find a way to respond, and I think your main obstacle is the pencil. You're going to have to send at least 1 or 2 players to kind of deal with that and make sure that it cannot get its eyesight on the tower.
Indeed, this second checkpoint, if you're on the side of Kaleidoscope, is going to be hell to try to get through. You're gonna need multiple specials to really get through it, especially if you see Arcana matching the firepower there. 2 players fall for Kaleidoscope, and now Toad, a great direct shot there, trying to see if they can find more. We'll just try to dig for a pick here. Will help with that, and 3 players are now down for Kaleidoscope. A great retake from Arcana. The cooler is up yet again, so even though they have a very strong lead, they are not taking their foot off of the pedal at all.
I mean, hey, you don't want to since they didn't technically. Oh, okay. Very unfortunate for Hito there. But yeah, if you're another one too, Toad is popping up and surviving the hammer. Okay. You know what? The movement goes crazy. Anyways, yeah, I think if you're 12th Arcana, if you want to be comfortable, you had to get that second checkpoint because as you can see, Kaleidoscope, they broke their first checkpoint, so they can technically still get close to you, but if you're 12th Arcana, breaking that second checkpoint is like the most massive thing you can do, and so far them keeping up this pressure is very, very good. As we see, 3 down for Kaleidoscope once again, so the minute left to go. If you're Kaleidoscope, you kind of start entering that panic time card, start entering like, hey, we need to do something here. We need to make sure that this pencil is not doing what they're doing as Blob. It's kind of popping off with a nice double kill. So Kaleidoscope, that snowball's building once again.
Blob is such a problem. Not 1, not 2, but 3 picks there on that fight. Now Kaleidoscope need to recollect themselves. Final 30 seconds here. Booyah Bomb is used by Arcana, so you don't have to worry about that for overtime, at least for the time being. What you need to worry about is regrouping yourselves here, but 3 players are down, and it looks like almost a wipe will ensue. That Sploosh will stay alive. 20 seconds, though, and Arcana are just adding to their lead. You see the Zuka being popped as well. The stab in response on the other side for Kaleidoscope, but now it is 10 seconds left. 10 seconds to get Josh off the tower. That's a good start there. You need to get on the tower now. You need to kick out Arcana, but there's the Booyah. Like you mentioned, there's the Booyah, and the Brush is there to get on the tower. Brush is taken out, though. So there is still a little bit of a hope, unfortunately, is ended right there with that wipeout. Arcana managing to close that one, and what a game it was. What a fight it was for this set. They move on to the next round.
Yeah, and for a majority of the game, 12th Arcana was in control. Yes, we did see Kaleidoscope get pushes started, but once they broke that first checkpoint, it kind of felt like they were kind of stuck in court. It felt like they really couldn't proceed. I believe they got down to 58, I want to say, or 57, or 56. I can't count. Yeah, they got down to 56, and then I feel like from there they were stopped for the most part. It was impossible for them to really do anything.
Yeah, indeed. And GG's to them. They remain alive. Hell of a fight, though. Hell of a fight from Kaleidoscope. They made the set close, but just didn't have enough gas left in the tank there as Arcana moves on to face who we just saw lose in Winners Bracket Finals, that being Mammoth Cave National Park. So those 2 teams, the 12th Arcana and Mammoth Cave National Park, will be in Losers Bracket Finals, best of 5 set, to see who will remain alive to go up against. We're going to Denny's after this in Grand Finals, but before we get to that, we'll take a very momentary break before that, so we'll be right back for the continuation of Prism Break 22.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Prism Break number 22. We have our losers final set for you. I am Topic, joined once again by Rocket, and for you today we have Mammoth Cave National Park versus the 12th Arcana. Now, Rocket, is this an actual national park? I'm curious. Probably not.
Is it a natural national park? From what I have found, it is a cave national park. It is located in Kentucky. Besides that, I don't know too much about national parks. I apologize, but from what it looks like, it looks very beautiful. I mean, it looks natural enough. I mean, if you were to manually drill into the cave, I'm not sure you can get an image such as this one, but it is very beautiful inside. But taking a look at both these two teams, we just saw how one of them got here, 12 Arcana, in a close to one set. But taking a look at Mammoth Cave National Park, they were in winner's bracket until being knocked down by the number 1 seed. We're going to Denny's after this. And they just are trying to see if they can get some revenge here, but first they have to go through the 12 Arcana. And before I go any further, I do recognize one of the players, I'm sure you do as well, Topic, on the side of Mammoth Cave National Park, Skep. Skep,
Yes.
the head commentator now at IPL. I know they are an amazing player because I've run into them a couple times in X Battle myself, and they are a hell of an NZAB player. So definitely a player to keep your eye on. And on the other side of Arcana, I mean, you saw the players. You saw Blob, you saw Toad. These players basically just winning entire team fights for their team, especially that pencil.
Yeah, don't forget about Geometry from Josh. That was very
Mhm.
that was very impactful in that Rainmaker game. But that was in the past. Let's talk about the present as we're gonna go to one of the best Tetris pieces in the game, Umami Ruined Zone. I'm really excited or interested in how these teams are gonna play because since this is a 2-zone map, I want to know like which do they prioritize, the zone closest to their spawn or the other one, and like since everyone knows that you need to kind of take that top side to really do anything, they know that top middle. So I wonder which team will like get that first initiative.
First initiative indeed. The first fight always sets the pace for how the rest of the game is going to turn out, but enough speculation. We're just going to jump straight into this. Remember, this is best of 5 now. You need to win 3 in this set to win. So let's see what both teams will come out for us. A very aggressive comp coming out from Mammoth Cave National Park. That was a carbon and brush I saw. Very interesting. Having the mid-decavitator being that midline weapon and Skep, of course, being on that zap to anchor it down. On the other side, Arcana just running their similar comp. I mean, the only difference I see is the Splatoon Stamper, but what are your thoughts on that aggressive comp that we're seeing from Mammoth Cave National?
So far, not working out in their favor as they're going quickly gonna go 2 down with the carbon. The sharking on that ledge is gonna just be found out. So I think for Mammoth Cave, I think the biggest problem is going to be that the chumps with the tri-stringer just being kind of forced back, being like scouted out is gonna be very, very hard for them to deal with. As just a cool, they're kind of stuck into that corner for Noct here, just doing what Stampers do, just kind of like sending some slashes through and through, but Mammoth Cave not going down to the fight, able to very quickly recapture the zones, but going 2 down, 3 down once again. I feel like so far they've just been losing a lot of fights. They've been going 2 down constantly, but Blob's gonna go down to Cool there, getting another one there for the triple, and they're able to get it. So very quickly able to turn around the Fate of Fortune though.
Fate of Fortune indeed, and that is, I feel like, what Mammoth Cave National Park's comp relies on. You need to win these one-on-one interactions, and they have 3 weapons to basically do that for you. We see Cool here up there with the mid-decavitator, still going on a rampage, managing to find one and still creating all this space for the rest of their team. You see Lagoon down here trying to take the one-on-one brush fight, will win that, and now the lead is in the favor of Mammoth Cave National Park, so great retake from them. So now the pressure is all on Arcana. They don't have any penalty to work with Mammoth Cave, that is, so the pressure's on them to push in. You see the Zipcaster going out, trying to see if they can find a pick here. However, it is just, all they're doing is just being a distraction here, as Mammoth Cave National Park are still hunkering down.
I mean, yeah, getting it down to 38, but unfortunately they're gonna go 2 down, possibly 3 drag though. Really, really weak here by the tri-stringer, going to go down once again. So 12th Arcana able to recollect themselves, get a lot of getting very far up with the hammer from Masamune, able to get skept out, looking for another one, not quite able to get, but they're going down themselves. So Lagoon here kind of stuck in this little corner here, being trying to get it out with the Ingrid, not quite going to work out for themselves, but 12th Arcana very quickly able to get closer and closer to that lead. Only 4 points remaining. Drag gonna go down to the Tri-Stringer, getting the lead by 2 points. Mammoth Cave trying to go in, but they're 2 down, so 12th Arcana able to just quickly paint over any advance that Mammoth Cave might have and keep going, getting it down to 25 points.
Yeah, and a key thing about Blob on this Tri-Stringer is that they provide so much pressure. Skep falls to Josh's bomb, and now time is ticking down for Mammoth Cave National Park to stay in this. They only have 3 players alive. They need to ink the zone. They are trying to get that right side, but it may not be enough here, as that is a complete wipeout, and Arcana take game 1 in a very back and forward game, but still, they were able to hunker down and take that one in a knockout.
Yeah, and I think the biggest problem for Mammoth Cave National Park was definitely every time I feel like they were trying to push in, every time they were trying to at least hold one of the two, it always felt like they were going 2 down, 3 down. So that kind of took away a lot of the sustain and or pushing power that they had. So it was very, very hard for them to, yes, they got a really good hold. They got a really good hold up to 38 points, but I feel like once they went down, the stagger just kept on going and going and going, and they couldn't really pick themselves out of it. So unfortunately, just left to 12th Arcana picking them off one by one, and that's the result that you're gonna get.
I mean, that's what you want. That's how you like to play. But I see what Mammoth Cave National Park was cooking with their comp. It's not a terrible comp by any stretch of the imagination. It's just very high risk, high reward. And I feel like Arcana had the answers for it, especially Blob on that Tri-Stringer. I mean, I saw time and time again, just them being able to shut down the Carbon's lanes. And it didn't quite work out for Mammoth Cave National Park there because it was zones. Maybe it's because of the objective, because, I mean, those weapons aren't exactly the best at painting, but maybe we could see the same comp being run here for game number 2, Scorched Gourds Clams, which could lean more into that guerrilla warfare type, assassination 1v1 type comp.
Yeah, I could see that because, you know, this map mode does kind of, I don't say encourages, like, back some. It's weird because you can be very aggressive, right? Since you can basically run up straight to the ramp and just go straight to the basket. But then also again, you have to be careful of the backliners that have like really good line of sight here. So I think it's a delicate balance. I do think the backliner, the Tri-Stringer for 12th Arcana will, or actually never mind, going to the pencil. So that'll be even bigger hurdle for Mammoth Cave to kind of work around. So we're gonna see if they're able to do that. So, but with that, that's the only change from either side here. Just switch to the pencil.
Yeah, that's going to be a major problem, but I'm sure if there's coordination from Mammoth Cave National Park, which we've seen on stream before, they are plenty capable of working with this comp and using it to its fullest. They are able to overcome that range disadvantage. I mean, you see already 2 players down from actually both sides, now 3 down from Mammoth Cave National Park, just left of that brush to try to stay alive, try to just see if they can maybe play keep away to all these Arcana members just slowly approaching here as Josh has a ball ready and locked and loaded to push.
I mean, yeah, you have to be careful. We just see Masamune just dancing around, getting shut down very quickly by Drag there, and another one going down. So 2 down for 12th Arcana. So, but they're not going to be pushed back too far because they still have that pencil and the cooler. But unfortunately for them, they are going to be forced to at least kind of hinder the pushes. But cooler will come out once again for 12th Arcana. So we can see a very aggressive hold here, not allowing Mammoth Cave to really get a whole lot out of them going 3 down. We're gonna see here just a lot of kind of trying to get into the base of 12th Arcana. We see Drag with the Zuka actually able to get one. So let's be no Zuka for 12th Arcana. Another one's gonna go down. So Mammoth Cave slowly making up for themselves, slowly getting closer and closer and closer.
Yeah, the Zuka is there, though, because of the cooler, but Josh falls yet again to Drag, and now we see an opportunity for Mammoth Cave National Park to push in. The gate is open, but only 1 clam has found its way into the goal because 2 players have fallen for Mammoth Cave National Park, as Arcana moving quick on that advantage, moving back to retake all this space, and now they have strong control over mid.
I mean, yeah, but if you're Mammoth Cave, that's not the push you're looking for. Only getting 77 points. 12th Arcana can easily break that with the clams they have on them, but they might not be able to do that as they're going to be forced back once again. We're going to see Cool there going down. So 12th Arcana just slowly trying to make their way forward. We're going to see a brush fight on top mid going to go down. Another one, an unfortunate jump is going to be had for Mammoth Cave, so the bubble will be started as well. 12th Arcana able to break the barrier and get the lead, getting it down to 50, 53, 50, and they're gonna keep on going down to 41, 38, and that they still have a pity clam. So if someone can go back and get it, this could be a really strong or even stronger push than it is. But unfortunately for the Mammoth Cave, it's gonna be there one more clam for the road, and that will be it. Down to 35 with about halfway to go in the game. So pretty good push from them.
Good push, but it's not over if you're Mammoth Cave National Park. You have that pity clam now to work with, but you need to worry about this brush in your backline. Skep sees it, is just calling it out, trying to see if they can deal with it here, but 1-for-1 trade will be had. The brush is taken care of, however, and now 3 players of Arcana do fall. It is just left to Josh on that Zuka, on that shot, to just try to see if they can play keep away with those suction bombs, just seeing if they can keep Mammoth Cave at bay here. Skep is 1 away from a ball as well, so an opportunity for them to get a lot of ammunition in their back of just waiting for a push here. But so far, just Mammoth Cave just testing the water, see if they can get an opening. An opening may have opened though with that bubble.
I mean, yeah, here they are trying to kick down the door. Skep with the ball. They're going to score with a couple clams to follow up with 13 clams. That might be enough to take the lead. Unfortunately, half of them are going to go down. Cool at 70, so they're forced to back away and keep themselves alive, though. Masamune able to at least get a trade out of it. So, well, it looked like a very promising push. We'll get stopped short at, I believe, just the pity clam and like maybe one more. But Drag, though, trying to keep themselves in, looking at a couple of flicks on the members of 12th Arcana. I'm not able to confirm any kills. And unfortunately for Mammoth Cave, that will be the end of a push. Less than a minute to go. So Mammoth Cave gonna have to start getting a lot more sustained, long, big scoring pushes here if they want to win.
Indeed they do. They have 3 clams away. That is Drag on the carbon here from the ball. The ball might be formed right then and there is the barrier broken, but a double from the Zuka +2 more falling from Mammoth Cave National Park leads into a wipeout now. 35 seconds left. Time is running out for Mammoth Cave left in this game if they want to keep this competitive. 2 balls find its way into the goal. Actually, only 1, I believe, made it in there, as now an opportunity for Arcana just to try to end this game right here. Did you see the Zipcaster going out, just trying to keep space for the members of Arcana to move in, as now it is just a desperate dash for Mammoth Cave to try to shut this. Now 10 seconds left. The pity clam will be had by Mammoth Cave because of that push, so overtime will loom, but it is a tough hill to climb.
I mean, yeah, because you see Blob on that pencil will be the biggest barrier for them to overcome. So they have less than a minute to go. They're going to have to try their best to get a ball and go. They have to go. Masamune is able to get a pick. Blob pops the cooler, 2 down. We're going to see Cool trying to go in. Solo is able to get close, but they're there. But they don't have anybody with the ball. One ball is going to disappear, and that will be it. 12th Arcana. It only took 1 massive push to get the lead. A little bit more was a cherry on top, but another very good game from them.
Indeed. And this is where you'd kind of think that Mammoth Cave National Park's comp would work here, but I mean, I feel like it just all comes down to that range disadvantage. Blob is a very flexible player. We saw in Game 1 Umami where they were on that tri-stringer. Game 2 there on Pen, just basically just poking at these members of Mammoth Cave that they were just not able to overcome here. So possibly we could be seeing a little bit, a couple weapon switches maybe if they want to change things up, because Game 3, this is now tournament on the line if you're Mammoth Cave National Park. Is Tower Control Inkblot Art Academy. I wouldn't be surprised if they stick with the same thing. However, you need to find an answer for Blob.
I mean, I think their answer is the Zuka from the Carbon Rotor from Drag, but I think the main problem for Mammoth Cave is that, like I said in the Game 1, they were going 2-3 down a lot of the time, so that kind of took away a lot of wind. That took a lot of wind out their sails. It kind of really shut them down. So I think in order to, if they really want to win this game, it first starts, as basic as it sounds, just staying alive. That really does help you in the long term, because you have the specials to deal, because you have a whale, you have a Zuka, so you can really move you can really move Blob there, who switched over to the heavy edit, so a bit more of a more mobile back or more mobile cooler player. So as easy as it sounds, just staying alive is really helpful for them.
Indeed, both sides losing a player early, though, in the first 15 seconds of things. Two players now actually falling for Mammoth National Park. You see the Zuka go out, not quite finding a target, but Cooler is had coming out from Skep on that zap. You see a 2-for-1 fight happening on that left side. Smart move coming out from the mid to Cavitator to just jump out and try to regroup with the rest of the team. But now a scrum will come out in the mid here. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath as two players from either side fall in that, but so far no one has touched the tower yet, finally being taken by Arcana.
Yeah, they're gonna take it. We see Masamune with the hammer in the backlines, looking for members, not quite able to get one, able to get a trade though. Very helpful for them. So we're gonna see 12th Arcana at least try to start to make their way towards that first checkpoint, which it is semi hard to take, but it just depends on if they can have that kind of coverage, that that top bats area taken, and those like that. So that's what they're going to do, as we're going to actually see they're going to break through that first checkpoint relatively easily. 3 down again. Drag with the stamp is gonna go down as well, so 12th Arcana will actually get through that first checkpoint and make their way towards the second one.
Masamune is being such a problem, such a thorn in the side of Mammoth Cave. They finally go down there, but now you need to take control of this tower. A perfectly timed Zuka there right before that barrier was built from Josh will allow them to continue to keep up the pressure on Mammoth Cave National Park there. However, it is losing a little bit of steam here. Masamune and Josh really being the only players of Arcana in position to really threaten the tower here, as Mammoth Cave have finally been able to regroup themselves and are hoping to see if they can get a retake here, but a 2-for-1 trade will be had in favor of Arcana.
I mean, yeah, Arcana, they're not looking to go away anytime soon. Another member is going to go down as well. And 12th Arcana are just kind of sitting here on this elbow side, just making sure that Mammoth Cave can't really do much, though. A flank from Cool is able to at least get one, though. But unfortunately, as you can see, Mammoth Cave have barely been able to score, as Venox is able to get a pick onto the decap. So there's been no bubble, no shield for Mammoth Cave. And we're going to see them finally get onto tower for a little bit longer than 1 point. Blob, though, going down with a nice geometry kill from Drag there, and Mammoth Cave making their way towards that first checkpoint.
Indeed, the stamp being denied there, and both sides losing a player. Actually, now 2 players lost for the side of Mammoth Cave, so numbers advantage in favor of Arcana here. This is a strong defensive position because Inkblot is such a hard map to push, especially with having this elevation disadvantage here. But you see the Carbon managing to use a little bit of the map structure to their advantage, managing to find one. You see the specials going out from Mammoth Cave, and that is 3 players down for Arcana. So an opportunity for them to steal this lead here if they can make it to this, make it past the second checkpoint. The bubble is up, and there is the lead swap.
I mean, yeah, there it is, and they're going to continue to keep going it down to 35, making their way towards this final checkpoint. They're going to be stopped, though, by 12th Arcana. You see the hammer coming out. Trying to get Skep. They're going to be forced to back away. Josh getting another one. That'll be 3 down for Mammoth Cave. So 12th Arcana, really solid defense there at the end. Yes, they did lose lead, but it's not such a big deficit that it'd be unable for them to climb, since Mammoth Cave did not break that or not get through that second checkpoint. But gotta remember, 12th Arcana, they have yet to get that through that second checkpoint, so that's gonna be a little bit of a barrier for them to cross. But we're gonna see if they're able to do it. As Drag, though, getting another kill before going down themselves, so we're in the last minute of the game, so we're gonna see what happens here.
Yeah, don't count out Arcana. Remember what happened in Game 1. They were able to retake the entire game in a matter of moments here. A minute is still plenty of time. They don't have to worry about that first checkpoint. A great pick, though, will go in favor of Mammoth Cave here. You see the Zipcaster coming out from this Stamper, just trying to see if they can find an equalizing pick, trying to see if they can make something happen with it, but nothing will be had, as mid is so much control in the favor and in control of Mammoth Cave, as Drag yet again is finding more picks on this ledge here, with that Carbon being such a thorn in the side of Arcana. 20 seconds left. Cooler is on the tower, and the tower is in strong control of Mammoth.
I mean, yeah, you see them making that climb up towards the unequal ramp, but the defense on 12th Arcana will be just enough, getting another 2 members down. So as we enter the final 10 seconds of the game, if you're 12th Arcana, you gotta make sure you cover all your bases. You gotta make sure you don't get flanked. As we're gonna see Masamune gonna get one, looking for another one. Cool, and the flank is able to get another one going down, but you can see a flank from the Cool's flank actually gonna work out, gate the members away from the other members of Mammoth Cave. Unfortunately, though, the Zuka's gonna come out and not quite able to get it. Josh staying alive. The Ink Brush is gonna go down, but Drag from behind is able to stop it and get on tower. So Mammoth Cave will survive and hold on and force a game number 4 here.
Oh my goodness, Topic. That looked very dangerous for Mammoth Cave there. It looks like there was a slight opportunity for Arcana to move forward. The trades were somewhat going in their favor. The momentum was as well, but Drag says, nah, not on my watch. Sneaking up behind and stomping down on any players on that tower, keeping their tournament hopes alive there. That is what the comp that Mammoth Cave National Parks wants to happen. They want to be able to continue to steamroll with these such aggressive and close range weapons on that push. You saw how well that worked for them, which knocked them down to the 30s mark in terms of their points. So I mean, they've shown that this comp can work against Arcana, but they need it to continue to work, as now we are moving on to Game 4, Rainmaker Museum. And remember, any mistake from Mammoth Cave can prove fatal, as they're still down 1-2 in the set.
I mean, yeah, and I think we saw some adjustments from each actually within the game. We saw Mammoth Cave just mainly just dragging a lot of kills, sneak kills with the carbon, kind of keeping their team in. But like you said earlier, like you said before, if Mammoth Cave makes a mistake, that's basically their turning run over. So I do think they're gonna be at least a bit more cautious, because I would expect them to kind of expect a lot more flanks from 12th Arcana, especially with that brush, maybe with the Stamper. But we're gonna see as we jump straight into our 4th game. No changes from either side. They feel comfortable with what they have, so we're gonna see who will 12th Arcana move on, or will Mammoth Cave force another game.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're taking a look at just game modes in general, Clam Blitz Scorch Gorge was the previous game that I mentioned that Mammoth Cave National Parks comp could work on. This is another one. Rainmaker is just a very, very volatile game mode where just one key pick could change the entire swing of things. I mean, you take out the Rainmaker carrier and suddenly all momentum is lost from the attacking team. So with such aggressive comps, aggressive weapons that Mammoth Cave National Park have, this could really be interesting here. This could lean into how they like to play. However, they have to worry about the impending push that Arcana is going with. But you see Lagoon on this brush trying to see if they can assassinate the Rainmaker carrier Josh. You see the Decapitator doing the same thing. However, both are massively and quickly taken out, and 3 players are now down for Mammoth Cave.
I mean, yeah, they're treating the Rainmaker carrier like the president here, just making sure that any threats are taken care of. As we see, 12th Arcana just kind of go and run down to 12 points. Josh, the last member remaining, forced to back away, does have Bazooka in the chamber, so they're ready to attack if the time is necessary. But in the first minute in the game, 12th Arcana with a very, very, very strong start, getting down to 12 points. So Mammoth Cave, again, they have a really, really tall mountain to climb if they want to stay alive here.
Indeed, but you still have plenty of time to work with. You need to focus on getting this checkpoint first, but a well-placed bomb shuts down 2 players of Mammoth Cave there, and a third will fall in Cool, as Josh managing to be that spearhead for Arcana to try to push back against the members of Mammoth Cave on this ramp. Now an opportunity for Arcana to move back into mid, try to retake some space here. However, Cool is trying to make sure that doesn't happen, as actually the Rainmaker carrier will fall.
I mean, yeah, the Rainmaker carrier falls, but we're gonna see a majority of mid being painted blue in the favor of 12th Arcana, so they still have a lot of control over the map here. But unfortunately, Josh trying to go for a couple picks. Unfortunately, the spinner is gonna be his worst enemy as for right now. So now as Rainmaker resets, 12th Arcana still in a very, very strong spot, because Mammoth Cave has yet to break through that barrier. They have yet to reach that massive hurdle, and we're gonna see that every time they try to get to this ramp, they're going to be at least stopped or confronted by a member of 12th Arcana, because they know if this falls, we can see a snowball build really, really quickly. Lagoon's going to make the jump, and it's going to get it, though. So 12th Arcana on the bit of their back foot. 2 members are going to go down, so maybe the tides are turning in Mammoth Cave's favor.
Yeah, you need to get these picks, though, these key picks coming out. Unfortunately, Drag will get snuffed out and taken out early, but for Mammoth Cave's comp to work, you need these frontline players. You need the Carbon and the Decap to move in and get some picks, but Josh with a great Zuka shot, time and time again, managing to snipe out players and snipe out the Rainmaker there, losing some momentum for Mammoth Cave here. 2 players down, though, for Arcana, so the push is not entirely over yet, but they need to get through this brick wall that Arcana has put up.
I mean, yeah, but they're trying to at least take it apart brick by brick, making getting a little bit closer down to 49 points. But Skep here left alone, so they're going to go down as well. The defense is kind of hunkering down for 12th Arcana. Drag, though, with a bit of a sneaky, is able to get one, but not going down without a trade. So every time Mammoth Cave have gotten a kill, they've gotten down with the trade, so every time that benefits 12th Arcana. As you see, they're kind of stuck here. They've been trying to advance, but they've been stuck at this spinner for like almost like a minute straight here. They haven't been able to break through. They haven't been able to get like a definitive team win, a definitive team wipe to kind of force their way forward. So as we enter less than a minute of the game, we're gonna see, can they move forward? Because right now the answer is kind of they're stuck, really.
Yeah, you have to worry about that brush on the left side. Lagoon is forced on that right side, that uninkable platform, and now it's just left to this Decaf who will get taken out. That is a wipe. That is not what you need right now for Mammoth Cave National Park. Now, if you want to stay alive in this tournament, you need to take out the Rainmaker and do it fast, because Arcana have no motive, no reason to really push up here. They can just chill in mid and just keep up the artillery fire. Now 20 seconds left for Mammoth Cave National Park. They need to move in as a team. A great pick, though, from the Rainmaker will get some players down. However, the Rainmaker is dropped. Now 10 seconds left. Mammoth Cave need to be the ones to take this Rainmaker to force overtime.
I mean, yeah, they can take it, but they have to, again, climb up that mountain that they've been stuck at the bottom of for the entire time. Under a minute to go. 55 seconds left on that Rainmaker timer, so if you're Mammoth Cave, you have to go. Cool is gonna go down, and there it is. I don't know, was it the Zuka or the brush? One of the two will end the game, so 12th Arcana will take a game after a very defensive or kind of tense couple of minutes there at the like the halfway point, but they will move on to our grand finals. But of course, shout out to Mammoth Cave National Park for putting up a really good fight.
Yeah, a little bit of an unusual comp as well, but I mean, we saw how well it can work when it goes their way. Just unfortunate that Arcana had the answers for them in the strong backline, in these weapons such as, you see the shot, you see the Splatana Stamper, and the counter brush as well. They were just able to eke it out a little bit more into their favor, but GG's to them. Now 12th Arcana have an opportunity now in grand finals against our #1 seed. We're going to Denny's after this, who have been a very fun team to watch in terms of the comps they ran. Infamously, I don't remember which set it was, but earlier in this Prism break, they ran 3 gals and an NZAP, so that is going to be something to keep your eye on for sure. And they don't really have, I guess, a consistent comp to really work with, so every match is going to be a surprise. But anyways, before we get to the conclusion of Prism Break number 22, we'll be taking our last break. So we will be right back for grand finals of this Prism Break here shortly.
Yep.
Come at me.
Welcome back. This is it. The final set of Prism Break 22. Maybe, unless Arcana can force bracket reset here, we're going to Denny's after this. Our number 1 seed versus the 12th Arcana here. And very interesting paths. I mean, 12 Arcana fought their way through losers bracket. They got knocked out in winners bracket round 2 by 2EP for this, and since then they have just been on a tear of the losers bracket, not dropping a single match up until losers bracket semis, where they won in a 2-1 fashion we saw, and won in a 3-1 fashion, which we just saw as well. So pretty dominant from them. But on the other side, we're going to Denny's after this, has been on a similarly dominant tear.
I prefer IHOP.
I knew this was coming up.
Like Denny's is cool, you know, but come on, IHOP's better.
I can't exactly argue with you on that.
Exactly, because you know I'm right. You know I'm right. You know I'm right.
I don't think I've been to Denny's in a while, so you're probably right on that one. And I think that's for good reason. I mean, I don't know if there's any like Denny's stands out there that I might have offended, but I don't know, maybe I'll try both again and then give you my take on it. But anyways, moving away from that, first map will be Crab Lake Capital on Zones, which is not something you see often considering how normally the map mode pick here would be Clams or Rain, but Zones is another good one. But what's your thoughts on this?
This is very backline favored, because if you can set up like a pencil or a heavy edit or maybe even a tri-stringer like we saw earlier, this could be like a very difficult way or very difficult to push in. As we're gonna see from We're Going to Denny's, very interesting. I believe that's, yes, a very short range, very aggressive comp with the custom blasters with the 52 and the stamper. So I expect them to be very in your face in 12th Arcana, what we saw from them earlier, but the only change really being Blob switching over to that pencil for a bit more range, a bit more like stability in their comp.
Indeed, but you need to learn from the previous team of Mammoth National Park, because when you take a look at We're Going to Denny's after this is weapons, in terms of their range, they don't exactly have the range to really counteract the pencil either here. So you're really relying on kind of those specials, maybe the whale, just to throw that pencil off balance. But so far we're seeing that range disadvantage isn't bothering them at all, as they have strong control of the zone.
I mean, yeah, so far they're moving and grooving. Tiny Tim able to get another one. That's a quick 3 down, but knocked the last member of 12th Arcana, forced to back away. So We're Going to Denny's looking very, very strong after this, getting it down to 35 points and still going Blob here. Gonna have to at least try to get them this stamper out of their base. It's gonna work out at least for the moment. Cooler's gonna go out as well, but we're gonna see Tiny Tim with a splashdown. So 12th Arcana has to be very careful about dropping, but now it's gonna drop and gonna stay alive somehow with a lot of chip damage. Toe's gonna throw the Booyah Bomb at the zone, but it's not gonna be enough. Actually, it is, but they're not able to get to it in time. So We're Going to Denny's. Okay, they're the 1 seeds for a reason. That looks pretty good. That's what I'm saying.
That happened in a matter of a minute. That entire match, it feels like. I don't know if that was the exact time, don't quote me on it, but that's just what it felt like. Straight 100-0 straight dominance for We're Going to Denny's. And against a pretty strong team we just saw, remind you, but I mean, what aggressiveness they played with, really playing through their environment well, just taking these 2-on-1 fights really masterfully. And Keely, the custom blaster as well, camping that ledge, just daring any player from Arcana to push down and punishing them accordingly. But yeah, not really giving them any opportunity to. A great pick onto Blob as well, who has been a very key player for Arcana and what they like to do. The spine of the team and making sure they're uncomfortable at all times is the key to shutting down Arcana, and they did it well.
I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. Like, I think they have I don't say this similar play style, but they have the way they played kind of reminded me of Mammoth Cave National Park, with all aggro, all aggressive. I feel like Denny's was a bit more coordinated, or a bit more, organized. So they were able to like do it very systematically, get one, then another, just kept it going. I feel like they weren't going down as often. I feel like they were keeping a lot. They were keep themselves alive. They were just it was just a really good game. They've played really well, but we're gonna see if they're able to keep this up, or will 12th Arcana kind of, fight back a little bit as we go to game number 2, Hagglefish Market Tower Control.
Yeah, another fairly common map mode. Usually you see zones on this, but Tower Control is a close second for what you normally see on Hagglefish Market. I think the key points here are gonna be that second checkpoint, kind of similar to other Tower Control maps. There are checkpoint spots that are so notoriously hard to push through without multiple specials, and for this map, it's gonna be that second checkpoint, where that second checkpoint is basically level with the tower. Actually, the tower, I think, is a bit lower.
It's lower.
Yeah, it's lower to where that is. So, I mean, that's not gonna be the tower isn't exactly in a great position if you're gonna be the sitting duck on there, but we'll see. And we're seeing already again weapon switches here. Tiny Tim going with the Lunar Blast on the other side. Blob, hello, a ballpoint here. Ballpoint mentioned here. Very interesting indeed for that jetpack and Fizzy.
I mean, yeah, Tiny Tim switching over Luna gives Denny's a double zip caster. So again, another very, very in-your-face type of comp. And for 12th Arcana, Blob going over to the ballpoint, a bit more of an aggressive front backline, because you do have, of course, that short range mode, and you have the Inkjet. So we see a very aggressive start from both teams, as Tiny Tim's going to go down to Blob's Inkjet, looking for another one, as we see that ends up forced to back away. So we're going to Denny's get a quick start, only getting 2 points. However, they are not giving up, just going forward. Tiny Tim getting another one, as they're going to see Zipcats come out for Vernox here on 12th Arcana, but that will be it, as we're back into a neutral situation here, where both teams are trying to find their picks or find their openings.
Indeed they are, but finally it seems like Denny's, never mind, a bloodbath actually in mid causes 4 players to fall, 2 on each side, as, like we mentioned, this is not any team really getting an advantage here. Finally, Denny's will find an opportunity to move here. Again, using the map well. Unfortunately, will lose their life here. Is that Stamper on the side of... We're going to Denny's after this. The checkpoint has not been popped by them, though, as members continue to fall. A great defense by Arcana prevents the first checkpoint from being threatened.
I mean, yeah, they didn't quite get to it yet. So we see another Inkjet coming out for Blob, which is very impactful, very helpful for at least stopping that first push, as Basin, they're able to keep themselves alive by this on the edge of the Booyah Bomb. So 12th Arcana having a lot of fight there, getting 2 members down. We're going to Denny's here, as they're gonna be they're gonna get their first push at least started here.
Indeed they are. It is their turn to push up. That's a good start on getting Tiny Tim on that Luna. However, they do lose Toad in that scrum. So both blasters down momentarily here. But Blob is here with that jetpack, trying to find targets. We'll find 1. 3 are down for We're Going to Denny's after this. This could be a little bit of a delayed wipe. However, that last player is just running for the hills on that left side, trying to see if they can at least be a distraction here. We'll fall back with the rest of their team to group up. But off of that success, the first checkpoint is popped by Arcana.
I mean, yeah, and Josh is kind of sitting pretty for a little bit there, just with no one really in sight except the Zipcats are able to keep themselves alive for now, not quite able to get it, as the Zipcats is going to go, not quite able to get any picks there. Bison able to get one in a trade. However, 12th Arcana still looking strong here, still getting it down to 41 is pretty good, and they keep going here. Swizz on this top left side, going for a tower, not quite able to get it, keeping themselves alive from that bomb. So able to get a pick though with I believe a burst bomb. So we're gonna see Denny's defense kind of solidify here, but 12th Arcana has struck in, and they've struck in really, really nicely here with less than 2 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, and Caleb getting that checkpoint as well. If they are able to win another team fight, they are able to potentially threaten to continue to extend their lead here, as still, we're going to Denny's after this. Need to get that first checkpoint still. That needs to be the focal point of their concerns. Arcana does lose 3 players, though, so this is the opportunity. This could be the golden opportunity that they need to get back into this. They still have a Zipcaster available from the Stamper. You see the flank coming out from the Gal on the left side to maybe draw attention, and now the checkpoint is being threatened.
Yeah, but unfortunately the Gal will go down. Swizz forced to jump over to the tower, getting a jumping slash, and unfortunately they'll be the last member remaining. So 12th Arcana, even though the first checkpoint did fall, able to quickly surround the tower and stop anything else from happening. So, and get 3 down. So really nice job of compounding their advantages here, still getting that momentum in their favor.
Indeed, indeed. Now with a minute left, time is running down for We're going to Denny's after this to try to keep this competitive. Toad is just being such a problem on this at the bottom of this ramp, just trying to poke at members of Denny's as they move forward, but they are having none of it. Two will fall to Swizz on this Stamper here, and now this is the push that you need. This might be the last push of this game if Denny's wants to stay in. This jetpack is available from Blob, though, so they have to be aware of it. You see the specials all going out. No one's on the tower, just trying to dodge Blob here, but 3 fall quickly for Denny's, so 30 seconds left. What can you do?
I mean, I get a couple kills as Basin's gonna be there. Get one, looking for the second one. Is able to get that, but Nox gonna go down as well. So Blob being the last beacon of defense here. 15 seconds remaining in regulation. Basu, they're staying alive for a little bit longer, just being a distraction. Staying alive with 52, getting another trade. So no zip castles. They can't affect Tower right away. 2v2 on both sides. As you see Blob there, they're able to get a pick. Basin, the last member remaining, they're gonna go down as well. So 12 Arcana after that first game, that 100-0, able to correct some mistakes. Maybe the switch over to that ballpoint was what they needed to kind of shut down those push attempts from 12th Arcana.
Actually, no, Denny's took that game. Denny's was able to take.
Oh,
yeah, they were able to take off of that.
Well,
yeah.
Ignore that entire rant. I thought it was 1 point. My bad.
Yeah, no, Denny's was somehow able to stay alive just momentarily to, like that kill came right at the buzzer, like, right at the finish line, but barely, though, being able to steal that lead, and now Game 3 awaits. But, I mean, I still have to give props to Arcana. Like, you're kind of touching on it. I mean, Arcana showed a lot more fight in that game after basically being punched in the mouth in Game 1, but yet again, we see how well Denny's has been able to make the comeback time and time again in previous sets we saw earlier on stream, and this is another taste of it here. So, I mean, they are, yet again, I'm just going to echo this, they are number 1 seed for a reason, resilient bunch, and now it all comes down to Rainmaker Undertow to see if they can perform the sweep.
I mean, yeah, I personally think Blob switching over to that ballpoint did give them a bit of like a reprieve from the pushes of Denny, since at any time they take to the skies and like keep themselves alive and like go for a couple of picks. So do I think they stay with ballpoint on this one? I can see it, because Denny's are gonna be like very aggressive, very in your face. So being able to kind of separate or put some distance between you and them is very, very useful. But we're gonna see. I do think 12th Arcana does have to be really, really careful of flanks, especially on that right hand side from the long way around, since I expect them to go the left side route. So we're gonna see if they're able to prepare themselves as we hop into game number 3, our potential final game of the tourney. 12th Arcana. We're going to Denny's at this. We're gonna see, is that a roller or a flingza? I can't tell. That's okay. V roller and a junior. Okay, very different. A lot more paint. A lot, and a double bubble. So a very very sustainable comp, basically.
Yeah, they just keep showing out and keep us on our toes in terms of...
Oh my god!
Plane is already down for Arcana. What a push from that roller. They're managing to find 2, I believe. And now a path has opened and carved itself up for... We're gonna go to Denny's after this on that checkpoint. Already in the first 30 seconds of things, they're on a roll.
I mean, yeah, and they keep going down to 40 within the first 30 seconds. Basin or Basu on the flank, they're able to keep attention away from themselves. Tiny Tim able to get down to 20 points in the first 45 seconds of the game. So 12th Arcana kind of being shown what another one going down. 3 members down. Tiny Tim, the last member remaining, forced to back away. But even if they're 3 down, getting it to 20 before it hit 4 minutes. Talk about a very, very good start. So now if you're a 12th Arcana, you have a very, very large hill to climb here. It looks like they're going to start doing that 1 foot at a time here.
Indeed they are. Don't count out Arcana quite yet. They are already at their checkpoint themselves. They can equally get in a similar push that we're going to Denny's after this can, but they have to worry about that bubble. 2 players are down, though, Keeley, for Denny's, so this is an opportunity for them to push with this numbers advantage. However, Blob does fall, so that is momentum loss for Arcana here, as the players from Denny's are just trying to recollect themselves here. See if they can maybe do it again. Maybe if they can take out that Rainmaker again. Swizz will find Toad. The Rainmaker picked up by Blob yet again, but still, the push is not quite over yet. Finally, though, might be losing some steam as Blob falls yet again.
I mean, yeah, but you say that, but Denny's are respawning, going back in one after another. They're gonna keep throwing bodies at this Rainmaker until 12th Arcana will force them away. Says we're gonna see. It's been about 30 seconds. They've been kind of stuck on this elbow. Renault here going in, able to stay alive. Swizz gonna go down, 2 members down. Rainmaker's gonna go. Blob has a path cleared. They're gonna get down to 14, but not quite enough. Basu gonna go down once again. Titan, last member remaining for we're going Denny's kind of going for a bit of a fight, forced to back away, so that might be it, as actually it might not be it, because 12th Arcana is still here. They are still waiting for members of Denny's to show up. Another double kill. They're wiped out. Unfortunately, they're not able to get to the Rainmaker in time, so it will reset. A bit of a reprieve for Denny's, but 12th Arcana are striking back with a vengeance here.
That might have been the most impressive 2K I've seen ever. I mean, Toad, a direct while jumping, and then another one while falling under the grate. Excuse me, but anyways, off of the back of that, they were able to get the wipeout, and they weren't able to push up more, sure, but now they have an opportunity to push up here. However, Denny's is clamping down, and with 3 players down on the side of Arcana, that push is now dead into the water. However, the lead is still in their favor, as what a heroic effort it was for them to continue that push, that war of attrition. They were eventually able to crack through. Now they have to play this very smartly here, as Denny's are looking to strike back with a vengeance here. Yet again, trying to go for this left side push. Taken out quickly, though, by that Zuka.
I mean, yeah, very clutch Suka here. Blob is gonna stay alive, but we're gonna see a flank from Swizz. They're able to get one before going down themselves. About 90 seconds remaining in the game, so 12th Archon has to hold on here and fend off the members of Denny's, because we know that they're gonna be in their face as much as possible. Another one going down, Boss is going down in a trade. So a minute remaining in this game. If you're 12th Arcana, you just need to run as much clock as possible. You gotta make sure that Denny's doesn't have an opportunity to at least touch the Rainmaker. If you can get it under like 30 seconds, you're at least sitting pretty for now. But the clock is ticking, only 16 seconds remaining. Forced to go forward, they're gonna go down. So Denny's possibly an opportunity here to get some points, but nice direct will shut that down. So Denny's, again, they're kind of stuck in mid at least a little bit here.
Indeed, they are stuck here. 30 seconds left here. You need to push up and take control of mid and more control of this mid surrounding area. If you are on the side of Denny's here, you have a bubble up and available, 2 players down for the sides of Arcana, so maybe you can start developing a little bit of a push. However, you see this Platana up on the left side from Arcana, just kind of waiting and looming, just trying to see if they can get an Assassin's Creed type kill. You see the Zipcaster going out, managing to find one, managing to find the Rainmaker there. Now the bubble needs to be popped, but there's only 1 player left alive, the Gal from the side of Denny's, to just try to break the bubble, but it won't be enough as Arcana survive. They will not get sweeps. They live to fight another day, but still, though, they have to win the rest of this to stand a chance.
I mean, hey, that game proved that they can stand up with we're going to Denny's, because you saw Denny's get down to 20 in the first minute of the game. Yeah, about first 40 seconds of the game, and from that point, I don't think they touched Rainmakers ever since. I think they were like at least forced into where you see right now in the replay. They were forced to kind of play defense. They were forced on their back foot, and unfortunately, they weren't quite able to hold on. As we see Blob with the movement, able to at least get down to 14. That kind of was the game-winning push from then on, and we just saw that the Rainmaker was kind of kept out of the hands of Denny's until the very end of the game, where they kind of had to desperately push. So Arcana, like you said, with some really, really, really good defense there. But we're going to see, can they continue this as we go to game number 4, Barnacle and Dime Clam Blitz.
Barnacle and Dime Clam Blitz, a very interesting map mode here. Also flat. It is so such a very flat map, and there is not a lot of obstacles really standing in the way in terms of mid. And obviously, you have that little mid ledge you see there already on your screen, but besides that, not really much to talk about in mid, but near the basket is where the true battle is going to start. Of course, it is such a hard position to really push up against because of the amount of elevation advantages that the defending team will have. I mean, considering how you have just the snipe area on the right side, not only that, you have that uninkable area on the left side as well, that glass pathway that leads up to that platform. It is, all things considered, it's just really hard to push into if you do not have the specials. And that's just going to be the recurring theme of this. I mean, both teams, we've seen it throughout these matches. That's just been how the momentum changes. The using of these specials and those key picks, those 1 or 2 Ks you might get from them, maybe coming from a Zipcaster or something of the nature, but that's just what you need to focus on.
Yeah, but we're gonna see, will that be what they focus on, using these specials to get kills? As we're hopping into game number 4, we're gonna Denny's trying to shut this down before they can get more momentum, and the 12th Arcana looking to at least 4. Hold on, wait, what was that? Was that an L3? In L3, L3D, I believe, we had the one with the hammer and a carbon roller. They are just throwing whatever they can and seeing what sticks. So L3, not a weapon we see very often, very common in Splatoon 2, of course, with damage up. But we're gonna see what they can really do with this here, with the hammer.
Hey, don't hate on it. I've used this weapon before, and it has some nasty comboing ability. Burst Bomb into maybe hitting 2 of those shots of the L3 is a kill in itself, and Stamp is always a good special. However, Blob shuts that Stamp down right there as Arcana look to push in here, and players are falling left, right, and center for Denny's as a ball will be made, sure, but there is not a lot of space to push up here as Arcana have strong control.
I mean, yeah, they have, I think they have the claims to work with, or not quite yet. They're gonna try to build up a ball, but we're gonna see where Denny's not taking this lying down, kind of getting back up and trying to go for a fight. Though Basu's gonna go down, another one's gonna go down, so that will be 2 down. 2 members going down for Arcana too, but they're gonna get 2 balls and down to 60 points. So even if they went 2 down, that's still a pretty decent push for the first push of the game. So now they have to kind of respond to what Denny's does. Can they kind of hold off, fend off this attack, though Toad with a very nice trade there. So we're gonna see them kind of do that, trying to at least hold mid here, or try to.
Indeed, but the specials are online for both teams. You have the Zuka available for Arcana. You see it being used right now just to create space, but a counter Zuka will go out. Blob does not fear it, though, managing to find 2 off of that. What a push from them, and showing time and time again how Blob has just been the key player for Arcana here. Toad moving up as well with this S-Class, trying to create space with it, but still, Denny's has 1 chance left to maybe hold on to this as 2 players fall from Arcana, so really a back and forward game so far, but still in favor of Arcana, of course, because they're still the only team to score.
I mean, yeah, they are, but Denny's is threatening, as you can see. Tiny Tim does have a pity, or have the ball at the ready. They have a couple more clams, but the Zuka will at least force them back, force Tiny Tim away from the basket. He's Swizzy gonna go down as well, so no carbon. So yeah, you see Denny's kind of stuck in mid here at least a little bit longer. Another one going down, so the ball going down as well. Very unfortunate. Actually, no, they're gonna be able to pick it up, so not that bad at least. But we see again, they're stuck in mid. They haven't been able to get onto the plat of 12th Arcana. They've kind of stuck here. They've been getting all these trades which haven't been going in their favor, though now it might be, as they're slowly be able to push up, as you see Baze and juggling a couple power clams there, kind of keep them both alive. But can they convert these power clams into points is the real question.
That is the real question indeed here. However, 2 minutes left. You have, like you mentioned, these balls available, quickly being saved there. Nicely done there from Denny's, as they're able to maintain control of a lot of their clams. I mean, you see it there, 2 balls plus the pity, basically 23 there. You see the Zuka coming out from the carbon now. A 1-for-1 trade will be had. The Gal falling for Denny's, the S-Blast on Arcana. Now an opportunity for them to maybe see if they can move up, but Arcana are not giving Denny's any space to move here. You see the Zipcaster going out from the Stamper, just trying to play disruption here, but 3 players fall from Denny's, and that is a wipeout. All of those clams will remain on the floor and disappear. That is going to hurt for Denny's.
I mean, yeah, that's absolutely what you don't want to see. Now you have to build up your forces once again, but thankfully you do have at least the pity clam to work with. You have a minute to go as well, so things aren't completely hopeless just yet. You do have Basin close to their goal, so maybe you can get something going, but you're gonna have to get some actual like kills, not just trades, so you can keep yourselves in. Basu gonna go down once again, so 12th Arcana will bunker down and hold up. As you see, another one going down. Very unfortunate for Denny's here, as 12th Arcana are showing a lot of resilience here. 45 seconds remaining in the game, and Denny's has yet to score, so 12th Arcana just making sure that nothing or no, the basket can't be broken, though. Tiny Tim will clear out a path. Basin will score, but very little follow-up here, as they need about a couple more clams to work with. 2 more to go. Trying to get clams and trying to get that pity ball in. Toad does have the Booyah Bomb going out. We're gonna see Basu with the get it. Oh, that's gotta suck. If you're 12th Arcana, they're gonna get it, but now you have to go. 10 seconds remaining, 2 balls plus the pity. They have a lot to work with here.
What a push, though, from Denny's. Now pressure all on Arcana to push. Like you say, they have the pity to work with. A ball will be lost. They have another one, though. They have that ball and the pity to work with, so it is easy. All they have to do is get those 2 balls in, and they can stay alive here. 2 players down from Denny's here. On the other side, Arcana only losing 1 member, so they do have numbers advantage. They can push up here. Tiny Tim will take the 1-for-1 trade, but the time is not there. The ball did not.
They didn't get it.
A little too short. I thought the ball actually made it to the goal, but just a little too short, and that is going to be just how they go out. It's so unfortunate from Arcana. Just an inch or two too short will end their dreams of this, and just like that, we're going to Denny's. They're going to Denny's after
They
this.
should go to IHOP. They should go to IHOP.
They should go to IHOP, and of course, but they can say they won Prism Break 22.
Hi, Arcana, they're looking so good. Denny's didn't score for, I believe, the first 4 minutes and 30 seconds, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
It was either 4:30 or 4:15 they haven't scored. And it was just one mess up, one mistake. They got in. Tiny Tim got, I believe, a triple with the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of cleared the path for Denny's to just go. And they did not look back, getting it down to 48. Arcana had the chance. They had an opportunity. They had it right there in their hands, but they were just a couple inches short. So very unfortunate, but Arcana putting up a very, very, very damn good fight.
Indeed, massive props to them, but GG's, we're going to Denny's after this. They are your victors. But with that, that will be the end of Prism Break 22. But before we go, we always have some housekeeping. Of course, Topic, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me over on Twitter and Blue Sky at Topical2. Find me over on Twitter, not on Twitter, on Discord at Topic2. You can keep up where I'm commentating next or whatever I feel like. Rocket, what about you?
Yeah, you can find me more active on Blue Sky at Rocket1. You can find me less active on Twitter at Rocket_Splat. That's about it for me, where you can find me. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to Jordan, as always, for being our wonderful streamer for Prism Break. Thank you all to the staff for working on this. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week for Prism Break 23.
And of course, actually, well, one more thing before we go. If you are going to be in the New York area on February 8th, that Saturday, please come to Big Dapple number 6. It'll be fun. It'll be great. It's a LAN. You should go. There'll be food, probably. So okay, you have to pay for your own food, but it'll be good food, trust me. So with that, that'll be it from us over at Under Pressure. We'll see y'all next week.